minute early. Well, we're right on time, but the countdown I started a few minutes late. Good morning, how's everybody doing? Let's see who's here. We've got Dutch, Nick, GP's, Digital Dragon. We've got PF, Shammy, Alan. Today we are going to attempt to get the Trident build wired up. I'm not anticipating we're going to do a super clean job of all of the cable management, but at least get everything plugged in. And the dream is to power this thing on and see how far we get. So we have exactly 4 hours from right now. Maybe I'm being a little overly optimistic given how things typically go on these streams, but I'm hoping that's what we're able to do today. So we will see. Yes, we are doing the wiring live, which is going to be interesting. Did you see CNC's new video? Which one, Dutch? The last one I saw was the filament recycling. If that's what you're talking about, then yes, I at least saw parts of it. I don't know that I saw it from beginning to end. The one about Mingda. No, I don't think I saw it then. Did it just come out? It's the Mingda booth. No, I haven't seen it yet. Oh, because he's at Form Next, right? That's why. Yeah, I haven't seen it. I'll take a look at that then. Is it good luck to start a stream wearing a shirt with smoke and a fire? Yes. Yes. I ordered the Mingda 400D. I will have to take a look at it then. But yeah, I don't know much about it. I didn't see it. I've been trying to keep up with everything going on with Form Next, and there's been a fair bit of stuff, but no, I haven't seen that. So, okay, let's get up to speed on where we are with things. So since last week, there are a couple of small things that I've done. Aaron had mentioned, or Aaron had showed me his reversed electronics Trident and showed that based off of sort of the way things lay out, that this orientation having SSR here and power supply here made the most sense, because basically we're gonna have AC wiring come in directly from this corner, and so it sort of keeps all the AC stuff right here, and then it's DC wiring over here. So I liked that. I did just swap those around. The other things I've done is I reprinted, did I reprint and lose, or? No, here it is. I reprinted this. Hey, Troy. 400 industrial printer. Wow. I ordered it. What's the price on it then, Dutch? So I reprinted this. The piece that came in this kit, because it's meant to be mounted like this, it would have made it where accessing the Wagos would have been incredibly difficult. So I just mirrored it in the slicer, and this is going to get mounted in the corner here, and this will be for our ground, live, and neutral. So I did do that. And then the other thing I did was I paid $3,500 for it. Interesting. $3,500 including shipping and tax. Okay. So it's about the price of a fully, like a 5 tool head XL. I'm curious to see what is, turn your MCU around as well. Okay, I can do that. I will flip that around. Ah, that makes sense. So that way the wires and the SSR go directly in here. So I reprinted out this piece, which is just the power inlet. There's nothing wrong. Well, there is something wrong. The one that they shipped, when I tried to install that, there's these little tabs. I can try to show them. Yeah, you can see this if I zoom. There's these little tabs right here, and I don't think the layer adhesion was that great on this part, and it just split right off. So I reprinted it and installed the AC inlet, and so I did. This is going to be trash. So you got me curious about this printer now. What's unique about it? How yours and mine are right at the same stage. Oh, you're building one too? Nice. Hey, Pex. Other Form Next is going to cost. After Form Next is going to cost. Oh, wow. Including shipping. What's unique about it? I know you said big build volume. What is it? Big build volume, fully enclosed Core XY. Heated chamber? Okay. So let's get going here. Oh, you know what? Let's go ahead and swap this around. So I normally don't do any wiring on stream because of how distracted I get, but we're going to attempt to take things slow, and I'm going to see how this goes. Steve and I did all the wiring for the VZBot, and so that went relatively well. So we'll see how this goes. If it goes poorly, maybe I'll go back to my old rule. 5 tool head Prusa XL is $4,000 US. I just kitted out a 5 tool head this morning and it was 3,500 Dutch. Maybe with shipping or VAT, possibly. I do all AC first and then DC. Yeah, it's probably not a bad call. Let's take a look here at the assembly manual. So where we left off last week was, I think, let's see. So we started electronics. We did this, so we got the DIN rails installed. We're not using a 5-volt power supply because we're powering our Orange Pi from our controller. We got our PSU mounted, our board mounted, SSR mounted, and this is basically where we are. So I'm going to install the brass heat insert. I'm almost wondering if we should do all skirts now. That might be a good idea. What do you, because Aaron, if I'm putting the bottom panel on, I'm gonna need the skirts on, so maybe we should do all the skirts quickly here. And then I can put the bottom panel on and use that for the wire channels. Hey, Thiago, what's your use case for the 400D? It's an IDEX machine with, oh wow. So it's just it's a nutty machine. I did skirts. Yeah, that's what I'm probably gonna do then. I already took out all of the skirt pieces, so let's do that. Let's do skirts so I can put the bottom panel on, especially because we're doing the reverse electronics. It probably makes the most sense. Overhead camera, yay, get to use this. How's everybody's week been going? It's been a pretty crazy week here. I've just been trying to get caught up with being gone for the Lightburn trip with videos and stuff like that. So sort of getting caught up. I was up at like 7 a.m. this morning doing some editing, which was helpful. Okay, let's get our insert and our power. Also, and super exciting, well, yeah, it is super exciting. Also, it's been a little stressful, but Jackson is officially crawling. He's been working towards crawling for a bit now, but you put him down and he is going across the room now and pulling himself up on things. I had to drop his crib a couple nights ago because we looked at the baby monitor and it looked like he was going to stand up, which is not good considering he's very tall and could lean over the crib railing. So it's been an interesting, there's my thumb. It's been an interesting week. Exciting and yes, it's it's been equally exciting and terrifying. Of course, we're so excited for him and kind of achieving this milestone, but yeah, I quickly am seeing why people have been warning me that once he starts moving, it's gonna be just nuts. You guys have his Zoomer? Yeah, now you're done. Is he going after the puppies? Kind of. So he loves the dogs. Make sure this is the right, yeah. So he loves the dogs. Monkey is definitely his buddy, but Monkey likes to lick you in the face. And so Jackson does a lot of flinching when Monkey gets near because he's not scared. He doesn't really mind that Monkey's giving him kisses, but he's still getting his balance figured out. So if he's sitting up and Monkey starts like kissing on him, he's fallen over a couple times, and that's our concern is him falling over and maybe hitting himself on something. But yeah, he definitely loves the dogs. He gets super excited when they come in the morning. Hey Tajin. He's no longer directly under my control. I don't think he was ever directly under my control. Busy week, but being a total slacker today, trying to avoid work. Nice. Well, it is hump day. It is Wednesday, so. Okay, let me get down to some skirts. Since we're doing this a little bit out of order, which I think does make sense for the inverted electronics. Let's go down to the skirt section. So we need to do probably all of the skirts then. Yeah, so let's do all of this here. Let's see, 1 and 2. So currently my game plan for streams the next month or month and a half here is Trident today, Trident next week. Regardless of how far we get today, next week I think will be our last Trident stream. We'll either be getting it printing the first time next week, or we'll just kind of be hanging out and chilling and talking about the printer, taking a look at it and stuff. Then we're going to do a stream unboxing. I've had the Kingroon Core XY printer sitting in a box here for quite a while. So we're going to get that unboxed and see what setup and first print and all that's like with that machine. And then there's two sort of smaller projects that I'd like to finish, or one of them just do and one of them finish that we're gonna do. And that is the Kingroon, it's like the Snake Oil XY, which is basically the Kingroon cantilever conversion. And I started it a while ago and got a fair bit of it done, but I haven't finished it. And so I'd like to do that. I think we'll do that on stream, the finishing up of that. And then, am I missing? There we go. So we're gonna do that, and then I am going to install the BQ Terminator onto an Ender 3. We'll end up doing that on stream as well. I have two Ender 3s that are running the Micro Swiss. One's running the NG Revo and one's running an NG, so we'll probably take the one running the NG and pull that and just play around with the BQ Terminator on there. So that'll probably take a couple of streams to get it converted to linear rail on the x-axis, get that mounted and get it configured in Clipper, then play around with that. So those are the two, the two sort of smaller projects. Then after that, there's a couple directions, or a couple things I'd like to build. So it kind of depends on how it all works out. So we'll see. Hey Ajax, has anyone used corrugated plastic tube for cable management to the print head? I don't know that I've seen it. It's a crazy looking extruder. That's that crazy, it's the, where is it? I think it's in my closet right now, but it has their own sort of, it's a compact extruder that has RGB LEDs in the tool head. It's got built-in fans. It's got a CHT nozzle. It's an interesting tool head, that's for sure. It was a limited release. I don't know how many units they actually made, and I don't know if they're still available. But I did a video kind of overview on it, and I've been trying to figure out what printer to install it in. And they have a printable file for an Ender. So I'm gonna swap it over to, I'm gonna swap an Ender from V-Wheels on the X-axis to a linear rail, and we'll see how it goes getting it installed. Hey, Nappin. So we are doing skirts because we're doing the inverted electronics bay, so I can put the permanent bottom panel on and then use the raceways, cable raceways, to put those in place. Okay, so we have more heat inserts, it looks like, on this piece. Interesting. The front cover is held in place by the heat set inserts. Hold the front face firmly in place. Interesting, okay. So, let me grab... So this goes on like this. It's kind of neat. I guess I haven't installed one of these before. So this little accent piece for the screen pops into this little recess. And then we are going to be placing heat inserts through the back here. And those are going to be going into the front piece and sort of pull it all together. Excuse me. That thing looks awesome, but the problem with BQ extruders is that they're extremely hard to take apart and even harder to get back together. Believe me, I am very well aware. I think that my biggest complaint... Oops, was there built-in support? It doesn't... Huh. The, one second here. The guide shows that there's a built-in support, but I think that they already removed it at factory. Yeah, there's no support on this one. Yeah, my biggest complaint with the Terminator was how difficult it was to get inside of it. So if you need to do some maintenance, or if you get a clog in your extruder or some sort of filament buildup, getting inside is absolutely not fun. So as much as I don't usually have to get into extruders very often, things happen, right? Like I've had plenty of times, not plenty of times, I've had a handful of times where I've removed filament from a hot end, or I've just sort of manually pulled it out, and from the time it leaves the nozzle to the time it hits the extruder gears, it's still semi-molten or semi-melted, and so it solidifies around the extruder gears, and you have to get in there and remove the extruder gears and either like scrape it off or heat it up and melt it off. So if you like, getting inside the extruder is something that is nice to not have to do some crazy stuff to do. But yeah, the BQ extruder, at least the Terminator, is quite difficult to puzzle apart and puzzle back together. Yeah, the GP's is running one on his Voron 2.4 build, and I mean, it was difficult. I took it apart for the video to show everyone what the internals look like, and getting it back together was, I would not do that for fun. Let's just say that. It was difficult. There's a lot of things to consider when designing a product. 'Cause not only do you want an extruder that functions well, but serviceability is also quite important. Otherwise, I love my BQ H2V2S. I've got the BQ. It's running a Revo, so it's got like the H2 extruder with a Revo hot end on it that I don't know what to install it on. I've had it for a while now. What's for dinner? I had banana pineapple pizza. What a wild pizza. I don't know what's for dinner. Aaron works today. We haven't chatted about dinner, so I'll probably have just frozen burritos. It's usually like my go-to. Nothing too exciting. Wait, is the front display stuck with brass inserts? It is. It's in the official Trident guide. I've never seen this before, but yeah, if you look at this, so there's pass-through holes here that still I guess have a little bit of contact with the teeth on the brass inserts, and then there's pockets on the accent piece faceplate, and so yeah, it sort of holds it all together. It's a crazy. I've never seen anything like this. I've never done this display myself. Yeah, I mean, long term, I'm probably gonna go with the clipper screen, but this is what came with the current version of the kit that I got, so I'm gonna use it at least for the time being. If I knew I was doing skirts first thing, which I didn't, I probably would have done the brass inserts before stream to speed this up. So hopefully we can knock out most of the brass inserts now and then just move forward. Yeah, I mean, I don't have an issue with it. I imagine it's going to be a pretty solid connection. Okay, so we need these, and then we need banana on pizza. What was that like? I don't know if I could do banana, but I think I would try plantains. I think I've had plantains at one point in my life, but I can't. I mean, I know how they look on the outside because I've seen them at the grocery store, but how different are they than bananas? Are they sweeter or less sweet? Cool hot ends and extruders from BQ, yeah. Okay, so yeah, we've got to do 16 heat inserts. So let's see if we can kind of power through this here. And we are doing it on the side, so the front side of the fan. So air is blowing this way. We want the heat inserts on the opposite side. Hopefully that's right. That's what it looks like in the image. Yeah. Took a little more heat to get it through the fan. I'm really curious about that printer now, the 400 Celsius IDEX 400D or whatever it's called. Hey, Benny. They are firmer in texture, so they don't get as... Ah, gotcha. It's more of a texture thing then. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I've had them. I mean, it would have been a very, very long time. Oh, that's okay. Yeah, good enough. All right, next 4. Put a picture in Modbots Live Discord. Bought the Polymaker Galaxy Orange you use on the VZBot. Oh, it's so nice. Yeah, I love that. That filament is gorgeous. Hey, Mitch. How's your build going? You're working on the Delta printer, right? The kit? The CNC, it's the, I think, Artemis, right? Also, I'm going to plug him because he's not here and wouldn't ask for a plug, but if anyone's not aware, Steve is doing his 10,000 subscriber stream hangout giveaway palooza. That's not the official name, that's what I'm calling it. This Sunday, yes, this Sunday. It's a regular stream time, I believe. I'm definitely going, my parents are in town, or they're not in town yet, but they're gonna be in town. So I'm sure it's going to be tough for me to catch the whole thing, but I'm at least gonna hang out for a bit while I can. Yep, some missing parts, but getting those this week, and this SKR Pico should be working on it this weekend. Nice. You're clippering it, right? It's gonna be a clipper? Wow, these brass heat inserts are having a little bit of a difficult time to get. Yeah, it looks okay. Should be a great time. Yeah, it's gonna be awesome. If you're around this weekend, I highly recommend stopping by, at least for a little bit. See if I can win another printer. If you win another printer, I don't know, you've got a lot of luck. I'm not gonna say what they are. There's a bunch of cool prizes. There's a bunch of cool stuff that is gonna be given away for the stream. You spent any time dialing in the VZBot? I spent a little bit more time. So I've used the VZBot a fair bit. I just used it today twice for the mirrored Wago mount that I showed earlier in the stream, as well as the back corner piece for the AC inlet. This guy was printed on it because it prints stupid fast. This piece was like 45 or 50 minutes with the 0.6 nozzle and the VZBot speeds. So I'm sure there's still some tuning that needs to get done. Like, if I remember correctly, I've done pressure advance, input shaping, flow. I've done more. I think I've done more, but those are the things that are coming to mind. There's been some weird stuff. Like, so I don't know if you saw the stream or not, but for the parts I printed on the Stealth Burner, there was some very odd sort of diagonal pattern on the parts, and I wasn't entirely sure what caused it, but I have a theory that it might be related to the Arachne engine, or the Arachne wall setting. So today I printed these parts without the wall setting on, and I don't see that pattern at all, but I need to reprint the main part that was giving me those issues to see truly whether that was what was causing it. But there's still definitely some stuff that can be done. The flow is close to correct. but I think that I can dial it in a little bit more. But it's getting there. It's definitely, I mean, it's making functional parts. I'm using it, but I do think there is still a bit more tuning that I can do for it. Sounds like SIBOOR is giving away a lot of stuff. Yeah, it should be pretty crazy. Clipper, you said, oh, one sec. Let me trying to read chat while also inserting a heat insert, and I'm like, I'm gonna melt this part. Config needs to update a little bit, yeah. There's a cool Delta, I don't know what it's called, Delta Affinity or Delta something project that someone's working on that I follow on Twitter that I wonder if you've seen, Mitch. It's got these sort of like rings that rotate inside of these printed channels. I don't really know how to describe it without just sending you a link to it. Hi, I watched earlier today your early parts of the build of Trident. Luckily, I open YouTube now and I can watch it live. Hey, Hari. Well, welcome. We're looking forward to hanging out with Steve and everyone all day. Yeah, it's going to be a great time. I mean, 10,000 also is a huge milestone, and Steve's a great person, so I definitely, again, think it's going to be a ton of fun. I'll be hanging around some today, but doing some stuff in the office, making myself play hooky for my birthday. Happy birthday, dude! Let's get, hold on, we don't have pizza, but we have, happy birthday, man. Yeah, absolutely, you should be playing hooky. I moved to a 0.4 Diamondback from a 0.6. The part quality dramatically improved. Right now, it easily bests my Bamboo X1 in both speeds and quality. Interesting. Yeah, I'm sure that a 0.4 would be giving me better part quality, at least for the top surfaces. I think that, I can show it again. One sec. Let me make sure that we're done with heat inserts. Please tell me we're done with heat inserts. I think we are for now. Yeah, I think we are for now. Okay, let me unplug this. So, part of the issue is, let's see, this is a piece. So the top layers, you can see lines on, right? And I think if I adjust flow a bit more, I can likely smooth that out. But I do think part of it is that at least this ABS is Polymaker ABS. Is it ABS or ASA? This is ABS. It's got a bit of a slight bit of gloss to it, or sheen, and I think that the sheen combined with the larger nozzle is making it look worse than it really is. Like, the walls have been, super consistent, really. I've been quite happy. It's just the top layers, and I think part of it might be the 0.6, because I've almost exclusively, other than some experimentation, been running 0.4, but because the BZBot prints so fast, I figured it would be a good candidate for 0.6, so I need to play around a little bit more. How do you solve gaps in the top layer? Usually flow. Usually it's flow related. I mean, there's other settings too, like there is a couple other settings that are slipping my mind. It's not detect thin walls, it's... I can't remember the name of them. There's a couple other slicer settings, but some of it's definitely just getting your flow set correctly. I keep wanting to show up to Steve's streams, but I'm always busy on Sunday. Got just a few days till mine. Happy early birthday, Ajax. Found something similar with Pressure Advance, dropped it down and it seems to disappear. Wondered if Pressure Advance uses segment G code, which is made for lots of straight lines. Yeah, I might need to play around with Pressure Advance as well. I know when I was talking to Steve about it, it sounded like his Pressure Advance value was fairly different than mine, and we're both running essentially the same machines with 0.6 nozzles, although his is a different 0.6. They should still be pretty close. Hey, nice. I done my flow completely using top layer quality. Yeah. Infill overlap. Yeah, it could be, yeah, infill overlap could be gap fill as well. There you go. There's a whole thread in the Discord that Eggy and I went through and solved this. Extrusion width. Usually I leave the defaults. For 0.4, it's like 0.46, even though it varies, I guess, on the part of the model you're printing, like walls versus infill versus top layer, first layer. Variable with infill. Variable with infill. I don't know. The 2.4 kit comes with touchscreen. Yeah, even the Trident, I think, is starting to come with touchscreen as well. This is, I've had this for quite a few months now, so it's their previous version that they've definitely made some changes to. Okay, so let's get our skirts on now that we've got, we're gonna flip the printer upside down. Let's see. Wait, tool head. Yeah, this is wiring. I'm just trying to go back up to the... wherever the AC inlet was. Oh my gosh, there's a lot of... there's a lot of pages. There's what I'm looking for. Okay, let's move all this stuff out of the way so I can bring the Trident up here. I would love to see Mamba Army do a K3. Okay, so full disclosure, I talked to Fabrico last night, and Fabrico, when we had talked many months ago, maybe even like 8 to 10 months ago at this point, there's discussions about a K3 kit build on the channel, and a lot of stuff happened between now and then, not between me and Fabrico, but just with other builds and life. And so I asked if there was still interest in doing a collab or like a sponsored K3 build with the Honey Badger kit, and he said yes. So my current game plan is that it'll probably be the first big build that we do once we move into the new house and studio. So it'll likely end up being starting sometime in January. But yes, K3 has been pretty high up on my list for quite a while. Okay, something just fell out of the printer. That never what you like to see, but anyways, the screw fell. So yeah, that's the game plan, a K3 build. Okay, so we've got this, and now we are going to be installing, it looks like M38. So let's get out, I'll see about a K3 after I do a solid fork. Yeah, it's been on my list for quite a long time. I know that I've gotten quite a few requests to do a non-Voron build, and I try to sprinkle them in there. I do. I know they're not as frequent, but the K3's been up there on the list, so. Would you recommend CAN bus on Stealth Burner? I haven't done CAN bus on Stealth Burner. We're going to be. I'm waiting on a wiring harness for the Big Tree Tac CAN bus Stealth Burner board that I have. But generally speaking, I'm a fan of CAN bus. I think the initial setup process kind of sucks. I've done videos on it and I've set it up a few times, but I still don't find it to be very fun. Every board's slightly different in the way it works, and it just never seems to go perfectly smooth on the first try. That being said, I do think that the cleanliness of the 4 wires being ran and the added ports that you get from going that route versus a breakout board are absolutely worth it in a lot of instances. K3 is such a cool build, finishing mine up as we speak. Yeah, I've been very interested in you work on it, so instead of you sending it to me, so I build and keep it. What? I missed that. Yeah, I'm squirreling out for a second here. XR, a little birthday love from me to you guys. You rock. Thank you very much, XR. Everyone, can we get a happy birthday to XR in the chat? Thank you. You're awesome. I appreciate all the support. Okay, M38 socket heads. I've been interested, I think what I was saying was, before I brain farted there, was I've been interested in a cross gantry printer for quite a while. I've looked at a few of them, and the K3, I love the size of it. I got to see it at Murph last year, and it just looks like a really cool printer. I started the K3 build in July. It's a tad more involved in these builds with full manuals, even though the K3 now is a nice build. Yeah, someone told me that they have a full manual now. I haven't looked at it, but I know initially it was just I believe it was pretty much just CAD. So I keep dropping stuff. It's gonna be that day. I would have been fine with CAD, but I'm not upset to hear that there's an actual manual now. Okay, so our AC inlet is installed. What does cross gantry mean? So it basically has a X and a Y rail that go, wait, no, am I wrong? Is there still Y rails? I believe, if I'm not mistaken, it's X and Y. I think there's 1, 2, 3, 4 linear rails. Let me see. K3 and X. I think they use 4 linear rails for the gantry instead of 3. Let's see. Yes. Wait, is there, whoa. Is there 6 linear rails? So, like how Vorons use 2 linear rails for Y and 1 for X, this uses, there's 1 going this direction, 1 going this direction, and I think 1 in each direction. So is it 6 linear rails? Okay, there's 6. Yeah. So yeah, it's nuts. It was explained to me that, like, the way this works is when it homes itself, it auto squares its gantry every single time. And these things haul. Like, is this it printing? Yeah. They're wicked cool. I don't think I'd ever seen one in person before, either the K3 or the K1, but they're nuts. It's absolutely, I agree that it's overkill as well, but that's never stopped me from building something before. So yeah, it's wicked cool. Yep, it's standard motion like a Crowdy, but the X is separate from the Y instead of being carried by it. Yeah. So it's nuts. Okay, let's get back to skirts. Nope, I don't know. I clicked on that. Skirts. Okay, we did this, we did this, we did this. We did not do this. So this is installing the screen, which is this piece. Let's see if we can do this up here with the overhead camera. Yeah, the unsupported rails are fine. There's a few builds that use them, and I know that maybe generally speaking, it's not what's recommended, but there has been no issues. I know that the Annex printers have been running for years like that, and I know there's a couple others as well. So for the size, I'm sure, I'm sure there's more flex introduced if you extend it, but the K3 with the size rails it has is not a large printer. Okay, so we've got a 5/6 screen that is going into here like this. Okay. And then there's a back piece that is not an accent piece. It goes on like this. Let's see. Yeah, that looks right. M312 socket heads, M312 socket heads. Well, it does make sense that if you just have the rails extended over a long distance, that there's going to be some play. You wouldn't want that. You'd want some sort of aluminum or something else to support them. But because of the fact that it's a small distance from end to end, and it's a 3D printer, like it's not a CNC machine or something like that, I think that's how they're really able to get away with it. Where is... There it is. Could someone tell Ultimaker to go faster, please? My work one is painfully slow. It's funny. We sold... Did I take out 4? No. We sold Ultimakers. I sold a ton of Ultimakers when I worked at Matter Hackers, and they were definitely the most reliable, I would say the most reliable printers that we carried as far as like, least complaints, least customer support. But yeah, they're not fast printers, especially not by today's standards. Hey, Zombie's in the house. Hey, Zombie. We'll give Zombie, we'll cheer for Zombie. Welcome, welcome. I did the math, and on the 11th of November is the SIBOOR Trident $200 off on AliExpress. Oh, nice. Are they doing an 11 sale? It works fine. It's a very proven design. They're beating a very dead horse here. I'm not. You can see the flex in them. I've seen great prints come off of them, so I'm not saying... I am not saying that it is the right way to do things or that it's how the manufacturer recommended, but I am okay with saying that based off how they're being used, it's not problematic. There's a huge 11, yeah. I know that a lot of companies do 11 sales. Some of them are already starting. I got emails, you know, I think AliExpress just in general is doing a huge 11 sale. Hey, RS. That's what it was. AliExpress sent me a couple emails. I think the whole, if anybody has the AliExpress app, don't ask, I have it. So if no one else does, I'm gonna feel a little like I have a problem. But the AliExpress app, if I'm not mistaken, changed their icon to say 11 for the big sale they have going on. Yeah. Check this out. Let's see. It's right there. AliExpress. They changed their whole app to 11 for that. Okay, cool. So it's not just me. Yeah, it's very easy to late night scroll on AliExpress. Like, that looks neat. The Ali app is an issue. Yes, I agree with that statement. So we've got those in place. We need a wheel. Do we have a wheel thing? I don't know that I saw. Oh, we do have a wheel thing. Let's see. Wheel goes on, and then the cover option. Oh, it's a light blocker. Some LCDs come with small encoder knobs. This extra piece prevents excess light bleed. Okay, we'll use that, I guess. And then I don't know. Where is the knob? There it is. Okay, let's see. 11/11 is a big day in East Asia. I know a lot of people get married. Oh, interesting. I know it's like there's something about 11/11 that represents good luck, but I don't know. I'd be lying if I said I knew much about it beyond that. Okay, so this is just going, it says it threads on, but there's no threads, so maybe this screen isn't compatible? Yeah, there's little threads on this piece, and I know that sometimes these screens have threads around here, but there's no threads, so I don't think this is gonna work. Yeah, we'll opt for all the light bleed. What is the most annoying thing about the operation and functionality of Vorons? I don't know that there's much that, I don't know if there's much of anything that really directly annoys me about the builds. 2.4 is definitely a little bit more tricky or time consuming with the way the Z works. But yeah, I don't think there's anything that I'm like, oh man, at least not that stands out right now. What's annoying is not having a space to build them all. Yes. How are you enjoying the build so far compared to the 2.4? It's been an easier build. I'm working on the 2.4 video, and it'll probably be out in like 3 or 4 weeks from now. And I love my 2.4. I've actually, ironically, that is the Voron that I've printed the least amount of ABS on. The V0s, the switch wire, that's it. Actually, other than 2.4 and Trident that's being built now, those ones have printed a ton of ABS. I've used the 2.4 for a fair bit of PLA, quite a bit of PETG, and some other, like the polyhex video we printed on that, and I feel like I've done something else that is not like a standard filament. But it's worked great. It's been, I'm not pushing it crazy fast, but it's been consistent. First bed leveling or first level has been great. I think the only, like, the main gripe I'm going to say about it is that it's just more of a technical build, or more of a time-consuming build because of the 4 belts on the gantry. I love the flying gantry. I think it looks awesome, but I don't feel like it's necessary. So that for a lot of people, I think the Trident makes more sense. And I've mentioned this briefly. I need to put my thoughts together on it a little bit more, but that's kind of where I'm at with it. The Trident's an easier build, in my opinion. SIBOOR deal is $6 off for every $30. Oh, nice. My 2.4, my workhorses, they just work. Yeah, 2.4 has been really reliable. I like the fixed bed, don't get me wrong, but I don't know that it's necessary. Like, for really big parts, I could see it. Like, for example, we talked about the Elegoo Orange Giga Max, whatever it's called. And that one makes sense to me, definitely, to have a fixed bed, because we're talking an absolute ton of weight if you're printing big parts. But with the size of the 2.4, like mine's a 300, I think yours is a 350. Yeah, small scale Trident style makes more sense. I agree with that as well. It's easier to get to the point of quality prints with a Trident. Maybe. I mean, I didn't have a very hard time dialing in the 2.4. At least I've been quite happy with the prints I'm getting off of it, so. Elegoo is going to be big, slow, and floppy. I think that the Elegoo, if they can figure out how to not damage it in shipping, is going to do really well. I think that it opens up the possibility for a completely different market. Like, the Elegoo Giga thing makes a ton of sense for a $300 to $500 tool head that is completely pellet driven. That is, like, that makes sense to me. I also think that there's going to be lots of mods, and also there's going to be plenty of room for third-party products for things like additional frame bracing. I think someone already said someone's come out with an enclosure option for it, although I think they advertised the bed capping at 90C, but that doesn't mean you still don't want an enclosure, because, for example, if I got one, it would be going in the garage, and I would want an enclosure to help at least somewhat regulate internal temperature, even if I'm not printing ABS or ASA on it. So yeah, I think it's going to be, I think it's going to do okay. As long as they can ship the thing and not lose money on it and not damage it in shipping. That's my biggest concern, is bent extrusions or just damaged frame pieces. I honestly had more problem with my first Trident than I had over my 2.4 to get the print good. Uncle Jesse is getting the Elegoo to test it. Nice. That doesn't surprise me. I'm curious to see his thoughts though on it. Is a 300mm 2.4 a bit more reliable than the 350? I can't answer that, but I do know that there are people that swear by, if you go above 300mm, getting the like titanium backers to help stiffen it up. So I would imagine there's some additional play, but to what extent, I really don't know. Kickstarter sold out? You mean they capped it? Last time I checked, it was close to 3 million in sales for the Kickstarter, and it was like 48 hours in. The new Voron Delta at Formnext is pretty interesting. That doesn't sound real. That doesn't sound real, Zombie. I need link that, or it didn't happen. I don't believe it. Okay, let's get back into this. So we didn't go with the blocker, and now what is this? This is, okay, so a part that slides onto it, an M340. What is that piece? Looks like it's this. Nope, that's not the right camera. Overhead. Okay, so this just goes, I don't think this is supposed to be an accent piece, but they printed it in accent colors, but it's not a big deal. And then we need an M3 by 40 socket head. Oh, the Prusa Delta. Okay, Prusa Delta maybe. It's like $7,000, isn't it? I'm actually surprised that they haven't released something like that sooner, because they acquired that industrial company. Does anyone know the name of it? The company that Prusa acquired. Wait a minute, I don't like this. Okay, this is not going through. Give me 1 second here. There we go. Yeah, Prusa acquired that Delta company. Oh, does this not? Interesting. Okay, so this looks like it's just a hinge piece. It doesn't look like the screw actually tightens down, and like it doesn't thread into the plastic, so I'm not really sure about that. Let's get a piece of filament and shove it through here. Let's just grab, do I have like black PLA somewhere? How is there there's no black filament on, oh, there we go, what is this? This is Elegoo Rapid PLA Plus. Let's go with this. This should be totally fine. I forgot their name. Voron is never going to make a Delta. Yeah, I mean, never say never, but I certainly don't think, I would be surprised if there's somebody actively working on a Voron Delta. I would love a Voron Delta though. I'm a sucker for a Delta printer. I'm really excited to see what FL Sun is coming out with. They teased that they're coming out with a new machine, and I certainly asked them for more details and did not get any yet. Trilab, yep. Hey Rise. Yeah, Trilab is the company. Okay, so for this, we are shoving a piece of filament through here, through the center piece. Yep. And then hopefully it'll pop out the other side, maybe. Okay, it is not, let's see if I can get it to go through. Ow, yeah, there we go. Okay, so filament has gone through and it popped out this side, and I imagine we're just gonna cut the ends off. It doesn't say, but I'm assuming so. Hey, Liz is here, how's it going? It makes the printer rock solid, but you need to be more careful on alignment as there's no, yeah. So it's similar to the VZ-Bot that Steve and I built. The CNC parts make it incredibly rigid, but there's absolutely no give for alignment issues. So you really want to take your time and triple check everything is aligned properly. Hey, Liz, have you printed with the Cocoa Press beta that you have, or that you got? I can't remember. I don't know if I've been seeing chocolate prints lately. Neera's been posting chocolate prints. I'm wondering if you are also making chocolates. That is really it. I just bought myself out of my, oh no. We have a showing on the house tomorrow, and I need to, I haven't been mopping, but I bought it's like a steam cleaner type thing, so it sort of works like a mop, but you don't use any cleaner. You fill it with water, it heats it up to a certain temperature, and it's supposed to kill lots of bacteria, so I need to do that. The homeowner here actually told us that they are going to be taking the house off the market, so I'll believe it when it happens, but that would be incredible news if that happened and we could stay here until the house we're moving into is done. So we'll see. I bought a Cocoa Press, nice, last night, awesome. I have extruded, yay! That's awesome. We'll do some air horn for the extrusion. Yeah, I saw Nero had printed some like salty chocolate with caramel, and I'm like, great, now I'm hungry. What's been the most difficult aspect of it? Is it because I don't know how far out, one second, let me pop this through without breaking it. How far out was your beta from the retail version? Like, is there a lot of changes in terms of the build process, or is it fairly similar? I know, chocolate. Has some issues working on it. I should have just read. Having some issues working on it, beta problems. I never built a printer before. I'm missing fasteners and nuts, fun times. Okay, gotcha. So that's what it is. And so there definitely is some differences, at least in the parts. Extruding is a big step though. I mean, that means you've got your electronics wired up correctly. Okay, so now it looks like there's these blue pieces. I don't know if this kit came with those. Oh, it did. So these are basically placeholders. I think you can install like USB extenders or Ethernet extenders from the Raspberry Pi, or in this case, Orange Pi, to the skirts, and that's what these are for, but it's an optional thing. So in our case, we're just going to pop these guys in like this. Let me see. Okay, ABS strong. There we go. Okay, so yeah, there's one of them in. It just, again, basically covers it to make it look a little nicer. Let's make sure we go the same way with the other one. Like that. There we go. Okay, so those are in place. Several months out, my kit was missing some things, but getting it sorted, awesome. I'm excited to see. I don't think I'm getting one. I want one, but with the fact that we're moving and there's a lot of expenses, I'm like, I don't know. But I'm very much enjoying watching more and more of these come to life and people printing out chocolate. And the prints are looking incredible. The prints are looking really good. ABS stronger, ModBot weak. No, it's the ABS. It's not me napping. Could be a little bit of both. Okay, we've got our inserts done. Now this is, so there's a motor here and a motor here. So this is, if we're looking at the back of the machine, so let's turn this around. And we need, it looks like 4 M3 T-nuts. So I wasn't anticipating on us doing skirts today, and this is definitely eating into our time. So we're gonna do our best, but this is definitely taking up time. Okay, not there, not there, not here. Oops. Oh, come on. The Cocoa Press isn't using 1515s though, right? For the extrusions, it's using 2020s. So at least, like if you forget to preload something, you can just pop it in after. I'm pretty sure that's correct, but I don't know for sure. Imagine printing Voron Trident chocolate with Cocoa Press. My wife wanted one, and after seeing it at Earth and she got to talk to Ellie, she was, oh, do you guys have one coming in, Aaron? She made custom cakes and stuff on the side, so I'll add that. Yeah, that's super cool. I'll eat the failed prints. Yeah, there you go. I look forward to doing the skirt with the Mercury 1.1 whenever I start it. Nice. Okay, so there's 2 here, and it looks like we want 2 more M3 T-nuts going on the inside. I don't know if that's correct because we're doing things a little bit different, but it looks like on the inside here, we want one like that and one like that. If it's not correct, I'll remove them, but for now we'll put them in there. It's 2020s, nice. We have one coming first week of January is scheduled right now, sweet. Right after the holidays. You'll go through the holidays and eat all of the Thanksgiving and Christmas goodness, and then you'll have to, you'll have more chocolate to eat. That's awesome. Oh, this is the front. I'm a goofball. I said the back of the printer. This is the front of the printer. So I was gonna say the accent pieces I would think we want towards the front. So these are gonna go like this. We can do a different angle. Let's switch it up. Get back here. Yeah, lighting's not that good, but we'll switch it up for a minute at least. There we go. And this is M3/8s probably, yep. It will be awesome for cakes. Inverted electron. Yes! I am very happy that we ended up going, where the heck did I put? I'm very happy we ended up going with the inverted electronics. Fabrica is also sending out the Zoll upgrade kit that they carry. So once I've gotten enough time testing this out stock, that's what we're going to be installing on here is the Zoll tool head. It'll be a little bit until we do that, but She was hoping before Christmas. Maybe, who knows? Maybe, I don't know how accurate their shipping times are, but maybe they'll have them a little bit earlier than expected. I figured, oh no, it cracked! We're leaving this in place. It made a cracking sound. I don't see a crack. So I think, because this is the second skirt piece that's cracked, I think that they extruded these either too quickly or not hot enough. One of the two. Yeah, I'm bending it back and forth and it's still holding in place. Because the inner layer adhesion on the AC inlet part was not great. So I think that the skirts seem like they were printed a little too quick. So we'll see. I mean, this isn't a structural part. It's just to cover up everything and have the bottom panel on. So if I need to, I'll end up printing out a replacement part. But for right now, we'll carry on. If I reprint it, it'll print out on the VZBot super stinking quick. But if another one of these ends up breaking, I might end up reprinting out all of them at some point. So we'll see. I'm not going to reprint it right now. Badoo, come on. Okay, I didn't hear any cracking sounds on this one, so that's a good thing. Do the cables come pre-crimped? I believe mostly yes. So like here's most of the wire. Oops, oh geez, don't fall, Trident. Most of the wires are pre-crimped. However, they also sent a box of JST connectors and crimps. And I feel like they probably wouldn't have done that if everything was pre-crimped. So we'll see. M3 socket. M3.8. It's kind of weird. So it looks like in this image, so right here, it looks like the nuts are on the inside, right? Like there's 1, 2 for the skirt, 1, 2 for the skirt, and then 2 on the inside. But then in this image here, there's 2 in the center here, which there was no mention of inserting. But then we're covering that here with this. So I think this is an error. I don't think that there's supposed to be an image of T-nuts there because they're not going to be accessible. So we're going to pretend like they're not there and just go with the M312s on the back here. Let's go back to the overhead. Let's get this like this. Yeah, we're gonna go with that. And then M312s is what I said. I've been doing this. I've been doing this. Do you need help? Wait, with the electronics, you need to put the skirt, so you put the bottom panel. Yeah, that's what we're doing. That's what we're doing. That is why we are doing the skirt right now. I hadn't planned on doing the skirt this early, but because I won't be able to put the wire channels on without the base, we don't really have a lot of choice here. So that's why we're doing this. Okay, so that's in place. I can't actually tell. They are inserts there. It's if you don't run, gotcha. So you can use the middle pieces. Okay. Gotcha. So if you're running it, it's basically if you're running it headless then, right? That makes sense then. Okay, coming around. Okay, both of those screws are in. And then I'm just going to roughly center it. There's definitely a pretty good gap. I'm wondering if I should, we'll worry about the details of the skirt a little bit later. Plus it'll probably self-align once we put the bottom panel on. Whoa. Is this supposed to be able to pivot so easily? Or does it rest? Does it rest on that? I don't know. This feels like it pivots really easily. Hey, Modbot chat. I recently watched your past live streams build this. Hey, thanks for making it. Welcome. Rip for the T-nuts, which actually got put in there by other people. I mean, it's not the end of the world, right? If anything, you've got a little bit more weight in your frame, but I was looking at it, I'm like, this doesn't make sense. Yeah, this seems a little too easy to rock. I don't really love that. Did you put in the piece of filament? I did put in the piece of filament, yeah. Okay, well, we'll leave it for now. I don't think it's that big of a deal. And again, I might end up going with clipper screen. That's about right for tension. Okay. I mean, it'll probably be just sitting upright in the end anyway, but that's okay. Have you leveled your bed? Not yet, zombie. I will, just for you. All right, so now we are flipping this around to the back side. Let's do that really quick. Overhead, these are all M3 T-nuts. Inward, outward, out. Yeah, outward. Tighten the screw on the back. Ah, gotcha. There is, yeah, that makes sense. There's a screw, I can do that shortly. There's a screw on the back that I inserted that wait, no. The screw on the back doesn't actually bite into the plastic on mine. That's what confused me, is that it just sort of slots in and it's loose. There's no, it pops out the other side. I think I showed that roughly, but so tightening that screw, it doesn't grip into anything. Which I'm not sure if that's supposed to be that way, but that's definitely the way it was when I installed it a second ago. Oh, come on, buddy. There we go. No leveling but allowed. It will be weaker if you move it back and forth 3,000. Hey, I'm just breaking it in. If I need to, I can also reprint out the body for that screen. But yeah, what I was sent definitely, maybe the PG7. What I was sent definitely doesn't, the screw doesn't bite into the plastic at all. All right, accent piece. Goes here, M3/8. Hello, I was able to tune in anyways. My fiance is working, so I got some time to kill. Nice. Well, I'm glad you made it out to the States, all right. When did you land? You said you were in Florida, if I remember. You said you were in you described it as the sticks. Do I need to print a part of the stealth burner when I want to install CAN bus, or is no extra printed parts required? I don't know the answer to that. I know that the one I got from Big Tree Tech is a 2-piece, and I think most all the CAN bus ones I've seen are 2-piece. So I would imagine as long as you printed the stealth burner parts designated for a 2-piece PCB, you should be fine, but I can't say definitively just since I haven't done it yet. For Mellow and a new cover, okay. For Mellow, I did a PG7 and a new cover that lets me use it. Okay, so there's a little Saturday night, been busy every day. Nice. How long are you in Florida for? I don't remember if you mentioned that. Otherwise, mine was dead dropping. All right. Got that one in. Go to side view again. This angle just sort of sucks. Let me see if I bring you guys up a little bit. Ooh, might be a little better. The light right there sort of kills it. Okay, now we need centerpiece, which is just the Voron logo. Gonna sit like that. And this is probably M3H as well. Yep. Only 2 weeks, proposed yesterday. Oh, so, okay, congratulations. Well, that definitely gets a air horn. Congratulations on the proposal. And you're still there, so, and you said fiance, so clearly it went well. That's exciting, congrats. I didn't realize when you said fiance a minute ago that that wasn't prior to the trip. Okay. Are the skirts slightly different color, or is it the illumination? Yes, so this one I printed myself in Polymaker ABS. And these are ones that came with the SIBOOR kit, which I'm assuming they do a lot of their stuff in eSun ABS Plus, so that's probably what it is. So yeah, the Polymaker ABS has, I would describe it, I wouldn't say it's glossy, but more of a, no, matte? Matte? Which one's the one in between? There's gloss, there's flat. Is it satin? Or it's like, it's in between the two. It's not glossy, but it's not flat. I can't think. Good thing it's in the back. Yeah. Well, there's a couple other pieces. The whole tool head, I reprinted all the pieces for the clockwork, so that also is in different color. But it doesn't bug me that much. I don't think I'll really notice. It'll be a secret between all of us, I guess. Satin. Okay. Eggshell more flat than satin. Eggshell more flat than satin, but yeah, I don't know my colors. So yeah, you're not mistaken. It definitely has a bit more sheen to it. But once it's all tied together, you won't see. The only reason why you notice is because I got the camera blasting right here and they're side by side. Okay, so now we are going on the side that has the Raspberry Pi, which is this side. Whoa. Let's go back to overhead. I should, we gotta go back to overhead. Now I'm self-conscious about my skirts. All right, so let's go here. We're doing M5 in the center and M3 on the side. So M5 center right here. M3 on the sides. It's a surface finish, not a color. There, okay, you're right. You're right, it is a surface finish. Eggshell is the color. I know that I've seen eggshell white, so that there is a color. There's a color in there. It even looks different from the top. Thanks. You can't even see it from the top. It's over here behind my image. Get out of here. Flat is no shine at all. Satin is a little shine gloss. Yeah, okay. I know these things. Okay, M3/8, so we've got left side, right side. Let's see, this goes like that. Oh, this has two. Okay, so these skirts are slightly, it must be because this guide was made for maybe a 250 and I'm building a 300? Because there's two holes here for this skirt and not just one. Dang it. It's like a CM on my screen, so it's great. Okay. I haven't printed ABS. How is the sheen? You haven't printed ABS? Hey, I can't tell if that's a joke, Ted. No, this is, okay, I'm doing this wrong. This needs to go on this side. This piece needs to go on, there we go. I don't think there's a difference in sheen between ABS and ASA typically. A lot of it comes down to what the raw pellets that are being used are. Seriously? Oh wow, okay. Must be nice. ASA wasn't even an option when I started printing. ASA was so much later. Yeah, they're real similar. I mean, some people say that ASA warps less or that it smells less. A lot of it comes down to the brand more than ASA versus ABS. I think a lot of that is more mental than anything. They're both styrenes, and there's a modifier in ASA, which is what makes it UV resistant, but they're very close to each other. I don't notice a smell from any of it. Yeah. Does polycarbonate release fumes? I haven't done a ton of polycarbonate printing, to be honest with you. I'm going to be playing around with some poly. I'm probably gonna do a video on Polymax PC, but if I'm not mistaken, it's a blend. Most polycarbonates that are being 3D printed. Oh wait, am I doing this? No, I'm doing this correctly. Most of the polycarbonates for 3D printing are some sort of blend. Real polycarbonate needs a very, very hot chamber to print. I years ago was printing some of it for a customer, and it sucks to print. Like just straight up polycarb without any sort of additives. I get asthma attacks when I'm around printers that print ABS, so I keep skipping. Yeah, ABS and ASA is... It doesn't usually bug me, but there have been times where I've printed a ton of it and in a small space, and I've gotten a headache from it before. 10 out of 10, don't recommend it if you don't have to. I printed with Sparta 3D PC ABS and plan on using PC. Yeah, most all of it's a blend. Like the PC carbon fiber blends that I've heard, I haven't used any of them yet, but I know like Prusa has one. There's no way you'd be able to print straight up PC on an open platform like an i3 printer without tons of issues. The main machine I was printing it on was the Raise Pro 2, which is a fully enclosed printer, and even that with like all the right adhesives that were being used on the bed, it was still very difficult to not have some warping. But yeah, I've heard that the carbon fiber being added to the PC makes it print like butter compared to what regular PC prints like. Hey, PP Super's here. PC is where you need a good hot chamber. Yeah, exactly. You need a really good hot chamber. There's all sorts of blends which will mostly work for whoever needs it, but if we're talking just straight up PC, it is not easy to print with and requires a very, very hot, consistent chamber. I know that, oh, I can't, his name is slipping my mind, I won't get it right now, but somebody I follow built a custom printer that had an internal heater specifically for printing with a bunch of ABS parts, and they wanted, I think, the chamber consistently around 60C to get consistent results with it. Okay, so here we are doing M3/8. Okay, so I need one of these pieces. I need these inserts. One insert, two insert, and let's see, lead and lead, and then flat and M3/8. Okay, so these are the pieces that we put the heat inserts into. You can use 60C on regular Voron pretty easily. 60C chamber is still too low for PC. Okay. Yeah, I haven't done a lot of PC because of because really the bad experience I had with it. I'd like to revisit it, but I'm probably going to revisit again some form of a blend. It would be fun to get just a straight up PC though, on a printer that does a good job of printing with it and do a video on it, so we'll see. We shall see. Huh, this is odd. So 3 screws go through here into here, but the final one just goes... That seems weird to me. We're gonna do it, but I don't fully understand this. Is this stream sponsored? No, well, No, I mean, SIBOOR sent the kit. So in that regard, yes, I guess. The stream itself isn't sponsored though. Technically, I don't think we've ever done a sponsored stream, like where someone is paying for like an ad slot or some sort of thing like that on the stream, but a lot of the builds have been sent by various vendors. One corner, oh, one corner is thicker. One corner on the back piece or the front piece? These all look so these back pieces all look like they're the same size. Oh, on your PC is an ad from Brave. Gotcha. So these back pieces look like they're the same on all sides. Let's see if on the Voron logo. Ah, there we go. Okay. That's it. So on the little faceplate, if we want to call it that, let me go from this side so you can actually show it. That's what it is. So they all have these little platforms that sort of drop down, except one of them. One of them doesn't, and so that's the one that you want sticking off the side. Okay, so let me undo. Wait, no, I did it right. Somehow I got lucky. Okay, well, yeah, somehow I got lucky. I don't have to take it apart. US time field's odd, front piece, all should be fine. Yeah, we're good. I think it's because I made sure the Voron logo is facing the right direction. That's why I was able to get it lined up. Brave browser's running an ad on YouTube considering here is a built-in ad blocker. That's hilarious. Well, yeah, it usually runs ads in the bottom right corner. But it blocks a lot of other website ads. Okay, we're not going to overly tighten this. That should be fine. And then we'll do the same thing on this side. So the thicker part, which is here, should go like that. Steve would be proud. Steve would be proud. Ever since the VZ build, well, it hasn't been that long, I guess, but I'm always now checking things like, are my belts facing, or like, is the text on my belts facing the right way? Oops, dropped a screw, which are not things I ever would have checked prior. Where did that screw go? There it is. The fan covers are always the hardest thing for me to print without crazy warping. Interesting. Probably because they're so thin then. Like, size definitely matters when it comes to warping. Like, the bigger the part, the more consistent your first layer needs to be across it, as well as there's more shrinking because it's the larger part. But the other issue I ran into sometimes is that if it's so thin, it just doesn't cool. It doesn't have enough time to cool, and so that can cause warping. I got the Steve bug. I even redid the change design for my Trident so I can use the bottom cover just to make Steve happy. That's amazing. Yeah, when I redid the Z motor mounts on this, so that way I went from the stock ones to the inverted ones, I made sure I did the logo in the correct direction. So they're facing towards the front now instead of the sides. You've put the cover on wrong. No, I didn't. No, did I? No, it's fine. I forgot that side is like that. Wait, you have the right side, one behind the support. Blue on the outside. What are you, yes, like this. Wait a minute. Yeah, this is right. Right? What are you saying? On one side you have black piece in front, on the left you have blue on top. Why am I don't understand. Okay, look at the left one compared to the right grill. These look correct. And these look correct. Oh, no. Yeah. I see it. I see it. Okay, so I see it. It's the tab. The tab is like laid incorrectly. Gotcha. This piece should be on the inside of it. Yeah. It was such a small thing. I mean, I can see it now clearly, but it was such a small thing that I didn't understand what the heck you were talking about. Okay, let's loosen let's loosen these. Super confused there for a second. What's do you think? Yeah, light bulb. All right, so this needs to drop like that. There we go. We did it. I was very confused. I'm like, no, the directions are right. I double checked this. But what I did not check was for this little tab. Hey, PF, thank you very much for the 5 gifted memberships. We'll do air horn and cheers. Thank you very much. Dropping screws again. Okay. Steve would deny it's cereal. Steve would deny it's cereal for such a grave offense. Oops. All right, let's get back to where we were before the tab mistake. Nice, you got the emojis. I just added the squirrel one a couple weeks ago. The fists because I've punched the VZBot twice while building it, and then we've got Polymaker, and I think and the pineapple pizza. Not sure who gifted me mine. I was working. It was probably XR gifted 10 memberships earlier, so it's either XR or PF. Okie dokie. First try. Yeah, there we go. All right, so this is a single screw holding this in place, and it's an M510. Oh, it's M5, that's right. M510 button head in the corner here. Okay. So this one, we just need to align. And then I'm assuming we want colors on the outside, so that way it looks pretty. Let's see. Oops, that is not the right driver. There we go. It is not nasty. You gotta expand your pizza palette, all right? Okay, I am definitely scared to over tighten the center piece. Let's just go, that's plenty tight. Okay, that's in place. So now we should be on the last one, which is gonna have the fans that we installed. So yeah, let's flip this around. Tejan, thank you for 2 months. I printed the XY joiners last night for Everest. I just need to finish designing the tool head and I can start building it. I'm so excited. What is Everest? Is that your own printer that you're building? That's not another cross gantry printer, is there? There's another, I don't know who's the creator of it, but there is a account on Twitter or X or whatever we're calling it. And it's a new cross gantry printer. I don't think that's what it's called though. My son loves pineapple on pizza. I don't understand. I think my parents just raised me, well, they didn't raise me on pizza, but like I think that they introduced me to pineapple pizza at a fairly young age. Like I can remember having, oops, that's not right. Oh, it's also time to open up the giveaway. Let's do that really quick here. They ordered a fair bit of Canadian bacon and pineapple, if I remember correctly. So, alrighty, let's paste this in chat. Boop. All right, so this is our weekly Polymaker giveaway. It's for anywhere in the world. If you don't have a Discord, just put in your email, your YouTube name, and then write "don't have" for the Discord name. Hey, Sim's here. Hey, Sim. Croxy, yes, Croxy's another one that I looked at. I think I either am in that Discord or I was. I promised to try pineapple pizza, just haven't gotten around to it. Ooh, make sure you get it from somewhere good. Your parents raised you correctly. Yeah, they did their best, for sure. Okay, so we are going to be doing the last 2 corner pieces for our skirts. Let's see, I've got one here and one here, and these are M3, so it's the same, I believe the exact same thing, which is 2 M3 screws and an M5 in the center. I was last time 1 or 2 fields off from the wheel. Well, maybe today will be your lucky day. I either eat cheese pizza or meat only. Oh man, no, I love, like, even veggie. My parents would get a lot of veggie pizzas too, and I love like a mean veggie pizza with just all sorts of like artichoke and bell peppers and onions and olives, and yeah, I love, oh, I'm getting hungry. Why? I should have known when I made the pizza little emoji that this was gonna be the result of it. More food talk than what was already probably considered a high level of food talk. I mean, don't get me wrong, I like a meat pizza too, but I think I would go as far as saying I prefer a veggie pizza over a meat pizza. Are these wrong or am I incorrect? Did they send me? So it looks like, I think they goofed on their printed parts. So we're gonna have, it looks like we're gonna have another skirt. Unless, yeah, so I think that they messed up on the printed parts for this kit, because we've got this piece, which has the holes on the bottom here, so it should be facing towards this side. And then we've got this piece that goes like this, that has the holes on the bottom here, and it would also be facing that same direction. So this piece looks like it should be inverted. I think that they made a whoopsie. I'm near positive that's what happened. Well, what we can do is turn on the VC bot and crank out another one. We're just gonna have kind of offset skirts on this printer. So let's, I mean, if I'm wrong, someone correct me, but based off what I'm seeing here, that one of those skirts should be mirrored to the other one. We'll peel off this first layer. By the way, we can see your feet. That's okay. You hear me? Oh, Aaron thought that was funny. Just turn it around. We will not notice. No, I'll notice. And the other skirts around the bottom are right. Everything looks correct. The only ones that can match, so yeah, the only other one that could potentially replace it would be from the side that we just installed. And unless I did one of those incorrectly, which isn't entirely possible. No, they're facing the right way. This one, let me see if I zoom out a little bit. Best part of making your own pizza is you can make it, yeah. So this looks like it's facing the right direction. This one's downward facing that way, downward facing that way. So yeah, I think that are these the last parts of the skirt? It looks like it. I'll verify one more time. There's nothing in there. There are no skirts in here. No skirts in there. There's this piece, which is our fan. I'll go overhead again. There's this piece, which is the overhead piece. Yeah, exactly. I got two of the left. I think that they made a whoopsie and grabbed the wrong parts. Either they printed the wrong ones, or they just, when they were doing inventory for this kit, they goofed on that. So let's quickly get another one printing out. Let's go, let's see. You want me to ask? Aaron's asking if everyone wants to see Jackson. He woke up from his nap. He never napped? Oh my God, he fought his nap for an hour. Wait, this is not, is this the right? All right, the answer is yes. It's Jackson time. Skirts. So this is gonna be a 300, and this is going to be a side skirt. All right. They sent the wrong piece for this kit. It's just a print apart. Will he crawl over the printer? All right, let me see the, oh, let me change the. All right, here he is. Hey, Bubby. Here he is.
It's baby butt time.
The most stubborn baby in the world that learned how to crawl recently, and now he doesn't want to sleep or do anything, huh? Huh, he just wants to crawl and put everything in his mouth, which is not what we're supposed to do. Oh, you got hiccups too.
You got the hiccups, yeah.
Oh, you got hiccups, bubbies.
So many good PJs.
Oh, dude. He's got all the, yeah, these are my favorite PJs. They're a bunch of dinosaurs with hearts. Like, it's very much so, like, it reminds me of, like, a Valentine's Day. Let me check out. Like, they're like a bunch of dinosaurs carrying hearts, and it's super soft. So yeah, once I discovered these PJs, I love these PJs, huh, Bubby? Yeah.
I need those PJs.
Yeah, these are awesome PJs. What do you think, kiddo?
Bluey, he likes Bluey.
What do you think, kiddo? Yeah, I discovered Bluey the other day, and it's freaking hilarious. I'd never heard of it before. All right. He's gonna fly away now. Or hold on, he's inspecting.
Careful, he's got a grip on it.
I know, it's okay. We're working on electronics, Bubby. Okay, this is a very important matter.
I'm gonna try to lay him down again.
Okay.
Whoa! Oh, he's moving the entire printer.
I'm looking at it. He's okay. Can you let go of the Trident, bub? Thank you so much. All right. Oh my goodness, we gotta print out another part. All right. Thanks for the care package.
Yes, sir.
All right. What was that? Zombie, thank you for the $1.49 and 15 months. Cheers. We'll do an air horn for that. Print settings, 9 months. Yeah. When he definitely likes watching the printers work. When he's ready, I will absolutely get him a printer. Okay. Let's make sure I don't do this wrong. So front skirt, I don't think it'll open. Oh, well, okay. So this is wrong, right? This is what we have 2 of, if I'm not mistaken. Facing down, facing that way, yes. So we don't want side skirt A. We want side skirt B, which is this one. Wait, that's not, no. Hold on. Side skirt B, there we go. Okay, that looks correct. So let's download that. Download that, and then open up Orca Slicer. The skirt could be, if you don't want the screen, you put that instead. Maybe. I don't think that's what would go there. Oh, it doesn't look like it would fit there, but you might be right. Blue is made in the only colors dogs can see? No way. Bluey is fun, so many jokes for the parents. Yes, yeah, Aaron, we love it. He needs Bluey. Yeah, I would absolutely get him some Bluey PJs. There's the one episode with like a balloon they're trying to keep up that we think is hilarious. Another episode where they want to go swimming and the mom is telling them to bring all the stuff they need for swimming, but they think that's boring, and so they don't bring anything, and they need the like sunscreen, their floaties. It's just really good. I don't know. Jack likes it, and Aaron and me are laughing pretty much the entire time. Okay, so what do we got here? We got VZBot generic ABS tuned. This should be, wait, is this not? Yeah. Okay, so this is a 0.6 nozzle. We want to turn off the Arachne because I think that's doing some weird stuff. We'll go classic, Voron standard is fine. Slice plate. I think it's gonna add a brim. Do I want the brim? 50 minutes and 13 seconds versus no brim. Okay, it's literally like an extra minute and 20 seconds. We'll go with the brim just in case. I don't think it needs it, but I would be bummed out if for some reason we had a little bit of warping. All right, print. And upload and print. Okay, so let's put the side piece on we do have and the center fan piece, and I think we can still put the bottom panel on maybe, and I can slide this part on after. I don't want it to delay us too much, so let's go back to the overhead. There's 100 people watching, nice! That's Orca Slicer. It's pretty much, I almost exclusively use Bamboo Studio or Orca Slicer. And then I'll occasionally dabble in Prusa Slicer, especially when they come out with new features. I like playing around with it. Also, I don't think I've said once today, if you have not hit the like button, please hit the like button. I have no idea what we're at. Where are we at, likewise? 66 likes, 101 watching. Let's see if we can get to 85 likes right now. Okay, so let's put in the one piece that is correct, which is going to be this side, M3/8. Yeah, I love Orca. Orca Slicer is, I'm gonna say Orca Slicer is my favorite slicer. And I'm probably gonna do another video on Orca Slicer pretty soon here because 1.8 beta 1 just came out, or beta 2. And there's a bunch of cool stuff that they've added and ported. They're porting a bunch of stuff over from Prusa Slicer and Super Slicer. So it's, I really like the slicer a lot. 82 likes, nice. It's nice to learn a bit of culture. We probably watched every Bluey episode about 5 times. Yeah, I'm definitely on my second take through Bluey. I recently switched to Orca from Cura, still struggling to find the settings. Yeah, there's gonna be a little bit of a learning curve or you know, adaptation of where you're used to. And also, some of the slicers call things differently, which is kind of annoying. But I think it's worth it. I personally switched over from Cura. Cura doesn't play very nicely on the Silicon Mac chips, and that's what I primarily use. So I've swapped over quite a long time ago. I feel guilty using Orca Slicer because of the Bamboo Labs connection, but it's basically Prusa Slicer forked. I wouldn't say that. I think that, to me, Orca Slicer is sort of like a hybrid. I mean, just like Bamboo Studio, I think it's a hybrid of some elements of Cura and some elements of Prusa Slicer. I like the layout much better. I like that it has a page for the actual printer, so I don't have to open my browser to go through Fluid or Mainsail. I like that, oh, the beacon's running. I like that it's got the multiple plates for projects. There's tons of calibration stuff baked in. I'm a huge fan of the slicer. I'm a big fan. Okay, so we got these pieces here. We've got this piece that I put up here. Let's see if I cannot screw up the orientation for this one. Okay, so same ordeal. It looks like we've got the flat piece like that, and we're using, for this, yeah, M3/8 again. Plate management is so nice. Yes, plate management is awesome. There's just so many great features. Okay, for this one, it looks like we want the rotating portion facing towards this way. So hopefully this is correct. Why are we not threading in? What am I doing wrong? What's happening here? Okay, give me 1 sec. I think I just need to hold this. There we go. Yeah, it's super cool, Mitch. There's a lot of very nice calibration. It has the most and best, in my opinion, calibration tools out of any slicer out there. And they keep adding more. Hi, my printer had a weird spark because the whole printer just shut off. That does not sound good during a print, and now the thermistor doesn't work. Is it worth to try the second port? I would, more than the thermistor, I would be wanting to figure out why your printer sparked in the first place. That sounds like a bigger issue than a thermistor. Hey, Steve's here! Thank you for the membership, Steve. Let's go. Cheers. And did you miss Jackson? Jackson was just here. He's crawling. I told you that. I told Steve that. Also, I mentioned it earlier. Oh, Steve's been lurking. I mentioned your celebration stream on Sunday. So since he's here, I'm going to say it again. If you don't already watch Steve's streams, which you should, on Sunday is the 10,000 subscriber celebratory stream, and there's going to be a ton of awesome giveaways over on Steve's channel. So did I say Saturday? On Sunday. So definitely check that out. I just got here now, figured I'd introduce myself with a bang. Well, happy Wednesday, happy hump day. Huge, yeah, it's gonna be nuts. Are you starting at the same time? So it's gonna be, why do I always brain fart? It's 11, right? 11 a.m. Pacific Standard, noon my time. I think that's right. Yeah, Steve gave me a little sneak peek at some of the giveaways, and there's a lot of awesome stuff. Okay, 10 a.m. We were actually just talking about, Steve, that after the VZBot build, you got me like checking things on a printer that I would never check before. Like I pulled the belts out when we were doing belts on this freaking build because the Gates text was facing the wrong direction, man. I'm like, damn it, I wouldn't have cared before. But now, like, I can't not care. Red is live, black is... Uh-oh. What happened? This is the way. I'm pretty sure with this build, red is live and black is neutral. I was looking at the AC wiring last night a little bit. Did you get the car part? That car part? What car part? Is it for a small RC car or for like a car part? I misread the board. Oh no! Did it fry the fans? Yeah, I also, sorry, someone was asking about their printer before Steve popped in, and basically it said that there was a spark, the power went out, and now the thermistor doesn't work. Should I try the other port, is what the question said. And the answer to that is, you certainly can, but I would be concerned with what the heck caused a spark, and that would be my focus. Like, is the power supply bad? Did anything else fry on the controller? I would be wanting to figure out what caused that and get it out of your printer before playing around with just swapping thermistors. Because if it happened once, it can certainly happen again. Are you seeing my chats? Nobody is responding. Yeah, I see it now. I didn't see previous ones. In my defense, the board I have is not labeled. Interesting. Is it an early board, or I feel like there's usually at least a plus and minus, but maybe not. I use the structural profile. I printed it recommended. Hey, Alien's here. Also, Alien, I printed out the PSU cover for you. No, I did it for me, but it was also for you. He asked about this in another stream. He soldered wires and almost certainly shorted the hot end power to the thermistor pin. Gotcha. Well, if you corrected the bad soldering, then I would say, yeah, you're probably okay to use the different thermistor port. But I would certainly, why did you solder versus crimping? I mean, not that I haven't done similar things, I guess, at one point or another, but what was the reasoning in this case to solder versus crimp? Okay, so this is, I'm not going to be able to perfectly center these fans right now, but that should be at least good enough. So we got our fans on. We're waiting on the final skirt piece that's going to go here because the kit came with two rights or two lefts, two of the same. Did you see the one that I told you? Oh no, I didn't see that. I didn't see the one about Everest. Sorry. I see if I can see it really quick here. I taught him already in Discord and told me. I'm sorry. Thank you. Yeah, before the stream I was prepping and I was like, I should do this. Where did you message? Are you seeing my chats? Okay, I see that. I did the install electronics, no magic smoke. How far back? I don't know if it didn't post, but I don't see it. I scrolled back pretty far to like when Steve showed up in chat. Okie dokie. So let's put on the bottom panel now. I think that's what the next move is. Hopefully I can let's actually see if we put the panel on, am I gonna be able to sneak one of these? Slide this over. I don't know. Oh, this isn't even the right. So yeah, we'll see. Okay, let's put the bottom cover on, which is going to be this guy right here. Nope, is that right? I can't actually tell. I think this is the piece. Oops. This looks right. Or is this I can't tell. Let's peel this and see if it's acrylic. This looks right. What the bottom panel? It's actually funny because my 2.4 that's been done for, I don't know, 6 months now. I flipped it to the side the other day and realized that there's no bottom panel on it. I never installed it. Like, it has the bottom panel, like the above deck panel, but it doesn't have the bottom panel that covers electronics. I was like, Steve would say this printer is not complete. It's because I had plans to do some stuff with electronics. I never did it, and then, I don't know, time passed by. If I put the bottom cover on, how will I electrocute myself? I've not put the bottom, and yeah, I had a reason. I was gonna do something down there. Like, I think I said I'm gonna go down there and clean up the wiring a little bit more, and then it just, you know, months passed by, it never happened. Super reflective. It almost, I think this is acrylic. This doesn't, it's definitely not like a ABS or ACM panel. It looks like it's black acrylic. You can see the camera and the light. All right, so this needs to go like this. Wait, this isn't even the right. What am I doing wrong here? This doesn't look like the right piece. There's no holes that go through it. Unless, let me see here. Is there other pieces that hold the... Oh, interesting. Okay. I assumed that this was going to bolt directly to those holes. That's not the case. We're using printed parts. Okay. Okay. Let's move you down here like that. Okay. This goes like that, and I'm hoping we can sneak in. I think we'll be able to sneak in the skirt that's missing from right here. I should be able to flex this a little bit if need be. So there's a total of 6 of these little mounting points, which look, apply VHB tape, so there's just all the same on these guys. Let me dump out this bag. This doesn't look great. These have little fork. Okay, so it is flat. Nope. Two. Okay, did they not send the right amount of these, or is it a me thing now? What's going on here? One, two, three. Are they all supposed to have the little rocking piece? Or no? So I've got a couple pieces like this that have, I don't know if this is a hinge it's supposed to be on, but there's one there. There's one here. Then I've got two that look similar. They don't have that sort of pivoting piece. And it looks like I need two more. So let's see if we've got, yeah, here's one. And where's the final piece? There it is. Just two have rocking pieces. Okay, sick. Hinges go on the back and the others are on the sides. Okay, I can do that. So back of the machine is right here. So that we're gonna need VHB. The one goes here, two go here, and one goes over there. Sweet. All right, let me zoom out a little bit. Oh, I think that's as far as I can zoom out. Okay, so let's get some VHB. And let's stick these in place. This is, yeah, should be enough. We'll just do one strip. Did you see it now? I just, I didn't see it. I don't know if it's, is it posting? It is a pretty clean ceiling. This is by far the most reflective camera, or the reflective thing. You can see my camera, and then I think they call them boob lights. Okay, it's my custom. I see it says it's my own custom design. That I did see. Was that it? I don't know if there was more that I missed. That's not a boob light. It doesn't have. Okay, I think in the new place we're moving into, they have boob lights. Then that's what the realtor called them too. So I think it's. Okay, let's just quickly put VHP on all these. Boop, boop. The hinge piece should be on the back side, not on the right side. That is the back side. Napping, you troll. that is the back. Eventually here, I'm gonna see your chat, and I'm just gonna know, like, nope, no matter what, it's gonna be like one of those, the boy that cried wolf thing. And then you're gonna be saying something that's true, and I'm gonna be like, nah, there's no way. Ceiling to the, ay. I just don't like that these lights are, they're LED, but they're not LED bulbs. They're like tiny little surface mounted LEDs, and they're warm lights, and I don't know how I can swap them. Like I opened them up to see, because I'd like to have the same Kelvin that the studio lights are that I use, so I can actually use it for video stuff, but it didn't look like there was any real simple way to swap them, so. We need to go back to the bulbous shaped things like CRTs. Hi all, first time catching a stream. Hey, what's going on, Hearse? Yeah, I opened it up thinking like I'm gonna swap this out. This will be my project for the day, and I looked at what was in there and I'm like, yeah, it's not worth it. If that's the same setup as far as the bulb or not bulb in the place that we're moving into, then I will very likely look for a different. I'll look further into it in that case. But since here we're renting, I'm like, I don't want to go through all the trouble. Okay, so these are all M3/8s. It looks like. So we will grab above that. Oh my gosh. Are you in the Discord, Tajin? Is this any? It's the same playlist, but I normally swap over to 8-bit by this point. Because I'm not rocking AirPods, I can't hear the music, and well, at least not as loud as normal. And the VZBot is quite loud, so let's switch to here. Also, we need to do the giveaway. So I'm gonna get these installed and then we're gonna do the filament giveaway. So if you have not entered in, we are doing a Polymaker giveaway and we're gonna be drawing in just a minute or two here. So fill out the form, it's pinned in chat, and I'm gonna close that in just a couple minutes here. I mean, it was good. I was just having fun watching you build a Trident while building. Ooh, nice. We were just talking about the salad forks. Steve, have you built a salad fork? I feel like you have, but I don't have a recollection of you building a salad fork. I want to build a salad fork at some point. Or not a salad fork, the Zombie, what did you build? It's basically a smaller Trident with the electronics on the side. That looks like a fun build too. Okay, you did a 120, gotcha. So there's 120 and there's 160 variants. Tiny T, that's right. Are you self-sourced? It had to have been a while ago because I can't remember when you built a salad fork. I remember the Micron build. Okay, yeah, a little over a year ago. Gosh, I want to do Voron V0 build of some sort. I think that the next, I think that the next build, I don't know, if we're doing the K3 in January, but I want to build a Pandora's box. And I know Aaron ordered a frame from nope. I can never remember, the Eagle, DLLF. So, where did you order it from? The Pandora is definitely on the list. There we go, DLL PDF. I want to order my frame from them as well. The custom colors are super cool looking, and then I'll cut out, I've got the acrylic already, so I'll cut out the acrylic on the CO2 laser, and I will basically harvest parts from one of the V0s I have here for it. That's going to be happening this next year. I've talked about Pandora's box for quite a while as well. If you don't see this, I'll tell you just, okay, see it now. It'll be a 400 and 400 millimeter bed, 13, holy crap, 400 by 400 millimeter bed, 13 millimeter, what? 13 millimeter quad belted Z-Corsair BKC shoe mounted to the floor and selling in a short closet. Holy cow. What, do you have I'm assuming, again, I think the 1300 you're saying is the Z height. Is there a specific application you have for why you're building it so tall? That's a monster. Yeah, somebody recently messaged me about the FormBot Micron 160, but I missed the price on it because they raised the price. They were doing sort of like a pre-order, I think, thing, or initial launch sale price, and it was like 100 $100 off or something like that. And then I think now it's like $550 or so. Yeah, $550. Oh, is it airplane? Okay, beast mode rocket. The V0 is the next investment now that the ring has been bought and given. Nice. Yeah, V0 is a fun build. I really like the V0 a lot. I mean, it's part of the reason why I've built 3 of them at this point. It's a fun printer, and it heats up really quickly. Wow, that lighting is looking rough. It's a fun printer. It heats up quick, and it just works well, like for knocking out parts quickly. So as soon as we're done with this piece, we'll do the giveaway. And then we will flip this over and start the electronics, which is what I wanted, which is what I thought we were going to start on 2 hours ago, but I'm glad skirts are on. And again, because we're doing, for anyone that missed it, the reason why we did the skirts now is because we're doing the electronics inverted, and we basically need this bottom panel on so that we can mount the cable raceways for some of the cable management like I plan on doing. He wants to print airplane, okay, that's what it is. But later, gonna make that tough with orientation he's choosing. Oh, gotcha. So I imagine if it's printing like this, and the wings are like this, it's gonna be like, you would ideally want them to be running long ways for the most strength. If you don't crash it, you're good. But if it crashes, then yeah, that's certainly gonna make it where it's gonna have an easier time breaking along the layer lines. Where did I put, there we go. This is really funny. I already told you all the 2 times once I'm going to print aircraft. That's right. It's coming back to me now. I watched that stream the other day. That's funny. What brand? Oh, the motors? So the Z motors are stepper online. No, I'm sorry. The AB motors were steppers online. The Z motors don't have a, if I remember correctly, they don't have a brand. I'm looking right now at the bottom of it. There's a model number and it says AFDE, which I haven't heard of, and the extruder is Moons. So they use three different motors. If you're looking at picking up a SIBOOR kit, I would contact them. Emma's like the main person that you'll probably get a hold of as far as if you reach out to them. And because things have changed, I would reach out and say, hey, if I bought this kit today, can you verify what motors would be coming with it? Because this is a bit of an older kit, the one I got, I'm not confident in saying this is exactly what you're gonna get. Not sure any other way is ideal. Going to want something running through them for bracing. Yeah. Okay, let's flip this around. Oh. Oh my God, this is definitely getting it. Okay. Okay. All right. Steve, since you've probably printed out this exact same LCD piece that's on mine, is the screw that goes into the LCD, like where it pivots at, right? If you hopefully you know what I'm talking about. If not, that's fine. Is that screw that goes across supposed to bite into the plastic, or is it just loosely slotted in there to keep things together? I can show you too. It kind of, so let's see, where did we install the screen? Here. So on this particular printed parts, the screw goes through here, and it doesn't, I was assuming it was going to thread into this printed part, like self-tap itself. It doesn't, and I'm wondering if that's by design or whether there's an issue with the printed parts I was sent. It's the only way to print it because of the layer lines. You can't print an airfoil in any other axis. it should thread into the plastic, but don't torque it down. Okay, so I think it's maybe a tolerance issue with. Because it's like, it's super loose. I'll show you. Oh. Okay, let me put the camera down, and then I'm going to really quickly unpin the giveaway. Remove and unpin. If you're filling out the giveaway form, finish it now, because we're going to be drawing in just a minute here. Under extrusion would definitely be noticeable there. Yeah, I think it's an extrusion thing. So like, it's pretty, like if I were to want it pivoting like this, I can't, well, yeah, I can't really press on the knob without it wanting to fall back. And so a few people had mentioned to tighten down that bolt just a little bit at least. And it just doesn't seem like it's, yeah, it's completely slipping on the other side. So it's not that big of a deal. I mean, for now, a lot of the times when I run it headless, and I'll probably just, you know, hold it with one hand or whatever. Wait, tighten the other screw, not the pivot one. There is only a single screw. There's the one screw through here, and then there's the filament that goes through here. There wasn't any other screws. Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah, I'll probably end up reprinting it. I think that it's just maybe a little under extruded, and that's what's causing it. It's not a big deal. Again, I'm probably going clipper screen on it eventually, but I just was like, oh, this seems looser than it probably should be. Okay, doke. Let's change to front camera, and then I'm going to grab all the giveaway stuff. There's 101 that's funny. So over 100 replies, I have to download it. I have to download it and then upload it, and we have 101 replies, so just enough. So let me really quickly download responses. Max design, but I did a lot of rework on it. Yeah, if there was any bite on that far piece from the screw, then it would be fine. Again, I think some of the pieces, like one of the skirt pieces cracked. It just felt like the inner layer adhesion was not very good. Yeah, the print quality on the Trident has been sort of hit or miss. The V0.2 parts I got when they sent that was really like tip top, but for some reason the parts on this some are over extruded, and they're okay. They're the parts, the print quality has been okay at best. Let's see, extract all. All right. You're welcome, I just entered. Only 95? Ooh, if you haven't hit the like button, do it now. I know we can hit 100. We can hit 100. Okay, YouTube name. So there should be 101 people here. Huh, weird. There's only 100. Give me 1 second here. I don't want whoever that one person was to miss out. Open with sheets. I did my, oh, my like part, thank you. I found the main skirts was great, but the stealth burner wasn't good. It was like it was done by someone else on different material. Interesting. Yeah, most of the parts for this have been really solid, but yeah, it was the stealth burner, definitely the clock. Yeah, mostly the entire stealth burner were over extruded. I mean, we reprinted, I kept the accent pieces because I don't have this blue and I didn't want to do a different blue, but I reprinted all the other parts for it. So I'll definitely give them some feedback because they've been very receptive to feedback. And if there is some profiles need to be tuned on specific machines, I'd like to let them know. Hey, we hit 106 likes. Awesome. Thank you, everybody. All right, it is time for the Wheel of Names. And there's 101 entries and 101 names in this wheel, so we are good. I think I was first or top 5 to enter at least. All right. Here we go. Let's see. So today's the 8th. And I'm trying to think about some... Steve, I need a range. What's the range for today, Steve? The link's gone, Pencho. It was up for 2 hours. No, that's not true. It was up for 45 minutes. $42 to $69. 1 to 3. All right, we'll do. we'll do Williams. 42 to 69 is our range. 1 to 3 is such a small range. I was up long enough, even I found it. Yeah. All right, 42 to 69. All right, it's gonna be 69. We're just gonna go with it. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All right, there we go. Before we spin the wheel, made sense. Yeah, that makes sense. Before we spin the wheel, as always, I want to say thank you to Polymaker for allowing us to give away a spool of filament every single week. If you haven't been a part of one of these giveaways before, I will send you an email in the next 24 hours to the winner, and that will have you either choose your spool of filament if you're outside of the US or Canada, and if you're in the US or Canada, you'll end up getting a gift card. For anyone that's wondering about time frame, it's anywhere from a couple days to a couple of weeks. It really just depends on, it seems like, location as well as sort of what's going on with Polymaker. And with it getting in towards the busy season, I think things are taking a little bit longer. So I wouldn't worry unless it's been a couple of weeks, and then feel free to ping me and I'm happy to reach out on their behalf. But anyways, thank you to Polymaker. And on that note, let's go ahead and spin this. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Good luck, everybody. Unpinned. The giveaway is unpinned, Phil. It's been unpinned. You might need to refresh. Ivan 24005. You are our winner. I think that's a first time winner. Congratulations. I will send you an email. in the next 24 hours, and you will get either gift card or a spool of filament, but congrats. Yeah, I watched it go past me and I was full of sadness. Sorry, Aaron. Okay, let's try to make up for lost time now, because I didn't anticipate that we were going to be doing skirts today, or at least certainly not first. Let's see if we can get some of the electronics going. Ah! So, let's get back into documentation. Wow, the VZBot is kicking butt. How far? Let me see. How? Yeah, it's 98% done with that skirt. You know what? The things are not set up correctly. It said it was going to take an hour, but it's going to be done in roughly 40 minutes. I don't know. I think I need to update the... Is it the Excels? I need to update something in the slicer to match the machine parameters, because I remember when both Steve and I ran the initial test, it was the same way, where it completed quite a bit faster than what was called out in the slicer. Chris, I stepped out to pick up the kid and came back to membership gift. Thank you. I think it was, well, it could have been, it could have been Phil, Steve, or XR, or Shammy. I'm stuck about 20 seconds behind my toddler sleeping on the TV remote. That makes sense. I was like, yeah, I did unpin it. Okay, so let's climb back up to electronics. Wow, that is awesome. The VZBot is done. Well, again, I'll put the skirt on later. It's not going to affect anything. Okay, so we need to install this. We need to install the Wegos, which are, I printed out the mirrored version because we are doing this inverted setup. So instead of it facing, oops, Let me see if I pivot this. I still can't get past how fast he clicked that button 69 times with the fingers. I played a lot of video games, man. a lot of first-person shooters between Call of Duty and Counter-Strike and Battlefield and PUBG and pretty much all of them. Valorant. It's been a long time, but VZBot building a Voron, crazy time. Yeah, the VZBot has been definitely a go-to for me for printing out spare parts for builds. It's just so the 0.6 millimeter nozzle and the Goliath and everything. It's just so freaking fast. Okay, so there we go. So this is going in like this. This is going in over here in the corner. Check print and or machine G-code and slicer. They have a dual set play. Ah, okay, that could be it then. M510s. Where? Okay, so here we are. M510s. Awesome VZ. Yeah, the VZBot has been awesome. Again, there's still some definite tuning I need to do, but I'm really enjoying it. It's a fun printer. It heats up really quickly. It heats up much quicker than I was expecting. I know it's only a 235 bed, which is part of it, but it just heats up so fast. Let's see. No, all we're gonna see is my arms for a second here. Sorry about that. There we go. Okay. The dwell and the G code, so the time estimator code thinks it's part of it. Yeah, that makes a ton of sense. I don't recall seeing that in the G-code. Like, I thought I went through and cleaned up some of the extra stuff that was in there, but it's entirely possible I missed it. All right, so this has it showing where we've got Earth going to the single one, then live going to the inner, and then we've got neutral going to the outer. So I think that's what we'll likely stick with. What SSR is that? So it's a Dell, we looked at it last time briefly. I had never seen it before either. So it's a Delixi, and you can see, I think that's the model number, CDG1. But it's kind of neat. It has, instead of a cover that comes off, it has these little like latches that snap up and down. I kind of like it. As long as it works like it's supposed to. But yeah, it's no complaints on it so far. Okay, so yellow is what we are using for ground. So we are going to have that go in on the left here. Just going to cut. I was trying to scan the QR code on the, oh, that's funny. Let's give ourselves some slack. So let's cut it right about there. Let me see if I can get a better angle too for everybody. I'm back from the past. Nice. Oh, RatRig uses the same SSR? Cool. I don't have one of the bigger RatRigs. I just have the V-Minion. And so the V-Minion is using a DC. Yeah, that's all right. The V-Minion is using a DC power supply, so I haven't used any of their SSRs. Okay, so this is going in here. earth. And then I think red was live is what they were using. I checked yesterday, but let me verify with their little wiring guide. Yeah, red is what they're using for live, and then black neutral. And we want live to go on the inside. It's working for 2 years. Hey, that's that's pretty good. We'll cut this right about there. I don't exist anywhere but the present, therefore past me doesn't exist, and no accountability. Perfect. I might end up doing barrels on these like Steven we did for the BZBot. One of the covers on the AC wire is popping off. There we go. But for now, I'm just gonna run it like this. Let's see, like that. What projects is everybody working on? It can be printer build or 3D printer related thing, or it can be completely unrelated. Too many projects. I can relate to that. Okay, so for AC, we've got wires going there, and then let me slide off this cover. I'm probably gonna use, no, I don't have enough distance. I think they gave us some additional, yeah. So they gave us some additional AC wires. Printing a very orange RC plane, nice. Working on TD, what is TD1? Micron 180, awesome. New print workshop, oh, that's fun. And for streaming stuff, that's super cool. Tweaking my Ender 5. I'm missing so much awesome, hold on. I am going to scroll up. Building a Mercury, my next Trident. New print stuff, but then we're gonna carry that. TD1, CNC machine has a million. Yeah, I've been following your CNC project for a long time. I don't know how long, I don't know when you started exactly, but I know that it's been a fair bit. Okay, so this is, we have a ground wire for the bed, it looks like, which I'm going to run. I'm not going to, I'm debating on stripping some, how do I want to do this? I don't want to remove any of this wire yet, but I also want to run earth to the power supply. So I'm not sure I'm gonna do that yet. Well, I'll figure it out in a moment. Designing and printing out a modular drawer system for stuff on my desk. Nice. Have you looked at any of the existing ones? Like, I mean, not that there's not a lot to be said about designing your own. It's also going to be way more custom, but I'm as soon as we move into the new place, I'm going full blown Zach Friedman's system, which I can't think of right now, and I'm sure someone will tell me in a second here, but installing umbilical, have a LDO V0.2, switching my Ender 3 to 1 to BQH2, ooh, nice. Putting the partial lag enclosure, converting to CAN bus or video, awesome. That will be really nice when it's done. Lots of programming codes, chords, lots of programming chords. Rebuilding an E3D tool changer, all-wheel drive chamber, ooh, that sounds nice. And a K3, I'll be swapping to a BQ micro probe once I'm back. That's what we're gonna do the BQ micro probe on the Ender 3 with the Terminator as well. I'm reprinting all of my MK3S parts and adding a Revo soon. Nice, the Bamboo makes it, yes. The Bamboo makes it where it's like a cheat code for printing ABS, I agree. Project implies I'd finish something, that is too relatable. New tool head for V400, that's right. It's looking really good, Lisa. Have an old Wanhao duplicator 6. I'm pondering doing core XY conversion 4. Working on trying to figure out why my messages in chat are black and why you're not seeing them. I don't know the reason why. Printing mercury parts. TD1 is my digital filament tester. Oh, super cool. That's awesome. 2.5 years basically. I ordered my parts April 2021. Yeah, it's a long time. It's almost like my enraged rabbit carrot feeder is getting there. Trying to get my business channel off the ground, having a Final Cut after being out of school for 15 years. I have no idea how much it's changed in 15 years, but I'd imagine a ton. Handle that deploys your parameter. Hello, how are you doing today? Hey, what's up, Engineering Chaos? I am doing really good. Gridfinity, that's what it is. Gridfinity, thank you. Chonksy 400 to Trident, what a monster. I see Slice Engineering and BQ have manual hot end swaps. Does anyone know if a more automatic version is being developed? Do you mean like the BQ, you mean Wham Bam, not Slice, right? You're talking about like the Wham Bam, I did a video on it. It's been a while. The Wham Bam, I can't think of what it's called, wow. It's for fasteners, bearings, motors, and other small robot stuff. Oh, nice, okay. Mine is a remix of an existing one to allow for interfaces, Zach Friedman's grid. Oh, sick, okay. The drawers are small, so it's more to fit on a grid, have a grid to fit on top of it. That makes sense. Gotcha, so you are using, or like, utilizing some existing stuff out there, but making it custom to your own. The Mutant, thank you, wow. I'm working on funding for a Voron Trident for 4 since it comes with the printed parts. It's replacing 2 MakerBot replicator, also known as the most overpriced, useless printer. I did Final Cut in school 15 years ago, but now free editors are miles better. I love Final Cut. I've used a ton of editors, and the price of Final Cut, I will pay it 10 times over, but it's only a one-time purchase, which is awesome. But yeah, I am absolutely a big fan of Final Cut. Okay, let's move on to do a little bit more AC stuff. So this is what we think we're going to use. Let's see, we got Wagos, yeah, and spades. So this is what we're going to use for the power supply. So let's grab a Phillips. And we've got live, which is red in this case. I would like to shorten some of these wires, but I guess if we're putting wire channels in here, I can slide these DIN rails later and find a spot that'll allow me to run wire channels. I'm actually surprised there's not a cable. I'm surprised there's not a cable that has live, neutral, and earth or ground that I can run into here. I feel like they would have included that. What Voron would you recommend for a school wood shop? I think the Voron should work since it's enclosed. Yeah, I mean, as long as it's enclosed, I would say you're gonna be fine. I mean, I've got, one second here. Make sure I'm not screwed up. We're talking AC, live, yes. My Vorons, well, I guess they're in the studio now, but I keep them in the garage fairly often, and I do have a CNC out there and do some like sawing of things, and I still don't like it. The acrylic likes to stick with lots of sawdust, but I mean, whatever printer you go with, it just needs to be enclosed as a bare minimum. Sawdust and printer, not good. If you need cable management clips then that fit in a DIN rail plate, I have some redesigned ones. Oh, cool. Okay, yeah, I might take you up on that. Not exactly sure how I want to do this. I didn't put a whole lot of thought into how I was going to do wire management on this, but we'll figure it out. So yeah, I need a ground. I think I'm going to steal one from a cable, like what Steve and me did for the VZ. Actually, let's see if I've got, I think this is the box of leftover VZ stuff. Is there any wire actually in here? No. Okay, so yeah, let's find another just power cable that we'll cut and steal its wire. Here's one. Our MakerBot replicators aren't even enclosed, so they get covered with sawdust in the bed. Oh, it sucks. Yeah, that sounds awful. I was debating for a while, because right now a lot of the printers are on, like, they're called muscle racks. They're basically just fairly strong racks with particle board bases, and I was debating on getting some kind of like a tarp type thing to throw over the entire rack, just to have a barrier between the rest of the garage and the printers. But yeah, sawdust and just dust in general getting on greased rails and stuff is not, I need scissors, is not a good thing. Cut off both ends on this. All right, let's see. I think I'm gonna use these little flush cutters. Once you get this going, it's not so bad, but getting the wire initially out of here sucks. CNC machines deal with sawdust and grease components. Yeah, that's fair. But I just feel like they've got, like they're built for it, while 3D printers aren't. Yeah, you're not wrong. I mean, the CNC machine, there's a Shipoko in the garage, and it's got a bunch of crap on it, but it still functions fine. Drop the link in Discord. Cool, thank you. I'll take a look at it after stream Chamois and see if I want to print out a couple. Okay, let me take this off here. I'm trying to show what I'm doing, but it's making it incredibly difficult for me to see what I'm doing. Let me cut a little bit more. The vacuum on my Shipoko has been working awesome for dust control. Nice. You're running a dust deputy of sorts, right, Steve? Even more insane is we paid $1,500 for just one to stop. Man, this is kicking my butt. Let's see if I use one of the tools that Steve got me to pull my, I can't grip it well with my hand. Let's see if I squeeze it. Okay. Yeah, the dust deputy makes a huge difference. Otherwise, the particles will clog up the shop vac pretty quickly. I don't remember it being this difficult before, but I also wasn't doing it on stream. God. Been cutting Lexan panels lately, doing some ABS tonight. Nice. For the current printer build or for... Oh yeah, this is killing me. Anyways, what mod would you recommend for the 3 series since they work, but I need a project to work on? I like the, I mean, if you don't have an Enderwire, I would definitely take a look at the Enderwire project. For projects. Yes. Hey, tripods! Okay, I finally got it. It just took a lot more hand strength than I remembered it taking last time, so I'm going to, this looks like it's plenty of distance. We're going to cut off this, and this will run ground. Let's not cut that one to our power supply. Now I just need to see if I can find the spade connectors. Here's one. Okay. let's strip the wire off of this. I can't believe it's almost been 3 freaking hours. I don't understand where the time goes during these streams. Okay, let's grab our crimp. Big old crimper. Build the milling machine into a cabinet so the dust. Yeah, that's a great idea. The thing is that the CNC machine is for and from Lightburn for videos, because we're working on they announced it publicly, so it's not secret. We're working on a piece of software for CNC machines called MillMage, and I'm going to be doing videos on it. And the issue is it's tough for me to get good footage because of lighting when it's in a cabinet of sorts. Otherwise, I would absolutely be enclosing it. It would be much easier to just enclose the CNC machine than trying to figure out how to enclose the rest of my shop. But I still might figure out something. Like, I mean, if I can create some kind of like a hydraulic lid system for it, that could totally work. But yeah, that's the reason why, because quite a few of my coworkers, they either are or have enclosed their CNC machines, but it's a little bit tougher for me because I need to be able to gather footage of the machines. But I think that's a great idea. I do. Okay, that was easy. Kind of don't like that the earth wires are different colors now, but it is what it is, I guess. So yellow, and we've got green going into there like that, and this one will run alongside the same guy. It's going right here. How big is that machine? Which the one that I've got in the garage? It's a Carbide Shapeoko Pro 3. It's been a while. It's the build volume on it's 33 inches by 33 inches, so pretty good size. I wish it was slightly bigger because I really want to mill out a full-size arcade cabinet. But I'm either gonna have to split it into two or do like a half cabinet where it's just the top portion of it. I see that's the only reason I use Fusion 360 is 3D toolpaths. Yeah, I have not done any cam in Fusion. You're so far, Steve, are you using Fusion for the CNC stuff you're doing or no? Because it's just essentially 2D. Are you just using Carbide, creating Carbide motion? Because I know Steve's incredibly fluent in Fusion. I don't like how tangled this wire is, but I'll, again, zip tie it down later. Could you just do some sort of clamshell lid opposed to like a full cabinet? Wait, you mean as far as an enclosure for the CNC machine? Yeah, I think that if you're talking about for the CNC machine, I do think I could probably do some sort of setup that has like an hydraulic lid of sorts. Oh, Steve left the building. I missed it. Gotcha. Okay. Okay, so we've got now, what have we got? So we've got power coming in. We've got power running to our power supply. Let's do the SSR next. So for the SSR, we want A2 and A1 is going to the main controller board, if I'm not mistaken. I'm gonna check this as well. SSR. So A1 is positive and A2 is negative. Okay, so this is going from SSR to the spider board. White, black, green for mains wiring. Yeah, they've got, for mains, they have red, black, and yellow. Which I did look online, seems like it's accurate in some parts of the world, but... Okay. So that is there, and then we want this going into... Yeah, all this wire, I mean, it's really long, considering... Like, I just need it to go from right here to right here, so... I'm not going to cut and crimp stuff right now. I'm just going to use what they've got and try to just hide a lot of it in wire channels. Like, there's going to be definitely a wire channel going right here, but if you wanted to make this clean, I would absolutely cut and crimp some of this stuff down. And then they want this going into, let's see, I'm facing like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So here, that is too big. Just go all one color. I don't like the black is life here, but also black is DC negative. Yeah, I don't love it either, Mitch. It was similar. It was kind of weird when Steve and I did the VZBot build, and we corrected it. Okay, so plus is here. Nope. Yep. Actually do negative first. Okay. Is that signal wire not for the AC side? Looks thick. Is that it's the same for the AC side and the DC side. Well, no, for the bed. So we've got for the bed, we are going AC in. Yeah, on this side. So it looks like it's the same. It's the first time I've gotten to use the Gato. Neat, we even use the same wire. So let's get so this is connected to that. Let's take care of the bed next. So for the bed, we have got some Legos down here. Let me go under manual. Can we focus? There we go. Is that a purple LDO frame? It's not. It is not. This is SIBOOR, and it's like a chrome. Let me zoom out really quick. It's like a chrome color. It's quite different because I've got a purple LDO V0 frame, and it's quite different than this. I do like that frame a lot. It's nice. Okay, so let's see if we go back to the bed section. How do they want us to wire this? Legos. Okay, so we've got ground. Ground is running up here. So that means we're gonna want to cut our ground. So let's attach. Oh, hey, all right. Hey, right now would be a great time to add a bed fan. A bed fan? Is that to move heat around the chamber, or? Hey, what's up, Sarah? That is a lot of hellos. All right, pretty sure Sarah's a bot. All right, I put I put Sarah in timeout. I think Sarah's a bot. I could be wrong, but I don't think I am. Okay, so we need to ground the frame, and I think for that we're just going to use, I don't know what's recommended. Is there a 50-15 or 50-20 would go on the other side of the Wago thing under your bed to distribute heat to the chamber as well. Interesting. I might end up doing that at some point then. For right now, I'm going to leave it stock, but that's, I haven't done that with the 2.4 either, but the 2.4 does have Nevermore, which I've heard kind of helps with circulating it as well. Okay, so this is M3. I think we just need like an M3 by 6, which we don't have any of. Ah, that'll work. M3.8 would work. Okay. Has some STLs for the mounts. Nice. Okay, that sounds great. Yeah, I'm definitely, we're going to be doing quite a bit of modding to this in the not so distant future, and so I can absolutely see me wanting to play around with a chamber fan to see how quickly or how well it helps distribute heat around the chamber. Okay, so this is our earth wire, and I'm just going to, yeah, I'm going to thread it in to the hole in the back here. Let's not spin, there we go. Okay, that is plenty tight. So now I'm going to, this is a super thick, this is a very thick ground wire. I'm gonna give it a bit of slack because of that. Should you use Loctite on that screw so it doesn't vibrate loose? I am not gonna use Loctite. I've used Loctite on these grounding screw before and I haven't had an issue. But if I do have an issue, I will wish I did, but yeah, I don't think it's gonna vibrate loose. I don't think it's gonna vibrate loose. Does this kit come with any kind of a carbon filter? It doesn't. There is not a carbon filter. Okay, so ground wire, it looks like we're just gonna go, so let's cut it roughly here. I don't disagree with that, but I've never, done it previously, and I don't think there's going to be enough vibrations for that to be an issue. Although I am tempted to use a Wago because, I know it'll still fit. The sleeving on this ground wire is just exceptionally thick. Okay. So then we've got, let's see, yeah, so these are both the wires coming from our, these are thermistor, super skinny thermistor wires. I wish there was more Wagos for the thermistor wires, but there's not. So we're going to cut one of, we're going to cut one of each of these, which is our AC wires going to our fuse. Star washers are used in a lot of motorized machinery. I'm not against using a star washer for it. I mean, I can okay, so let's I have been trying to start a YouTube channel. How do you get a company to sponsor you? Do they reach out to you, or do you to get your first sponsor? I have been on YouTube for over a decade, quite a bit over a decade at this point. So it's tough to exactly remember that far back. I know that initially, so I didn't reach out to anybody or try to do any sort of sponsorship stuff for quite a while when I started out. One, I mean, it was a different landscape. I didn't know that you even could do that stuff on YouTube. It was really just me dumping videos on repairing video game stuff or video game hacking or whatever. Yeah, it's way different than when I started. And it was a combination of, for one, when I started, it was video game hacking and modding stuff, right? And so it was a pretty small-ish community, and I was very active in the forums, and sort of got to know some of the companies through outside of YouTube. So again, it's tough to say, but I would certainly say that the first goal should be building up. These are too, I stripped these too much. The first goal should be building up the channel, right? So like creating content. Nobody's gonna want to send anything to a channel that's like, yeah, hey, I just created this channel, send me stuff. Like you gotta build up. And at the time, I mean, when I started making YouTube videos, I want to say I was probably 18 and I'm 31 now. And I was working at McDonald's, and basically all of my money went to my car payment, the little bit of money I had to pay my parents for rent, and then the rest of it was towards stuff for the YouTube channel, like, which was at the time a bunch of Xbox consoles. So yeah, again, it depends, but there's nothing wrong with reaching out to a company, and I certainly have over the years. Like if there's a really like something specific I'm really interested in that I think that is a good fit or that it makes sense, I have reached out. Generally speaking, it's been quite a few years since I have. I just don't have the bandwidth because of how many things are actively being tested, worked on, tutorials, yada yada, and the amount of emails that come in. I don't really have the ability to do that anymore. But yes, there was a time absolutely where I reached out to some channels, some companies, whether it was 3D printing related or prior to that when I was doing video game hacking and modding stuff, and said, hey, I'm so-and-so, this is my channel, this is what I do. I think that this would be an awesome, you know, basically an awesome product or project to work with on the channel. Is there any interest in some sort of collaboration of sorts? Like, I mean, I don't know the exact verbiage, but yes, there's nothing wrong with sending a company an email. I will say, I did not hear back. I sent out a lot more than I heard back from. So that's certainly something that you need to be prepared for, is like, to not get discouraged, because that's just the name of it, right? Like the name of the game, if you will. Like there's going to be a lot of companies that either don't check because they get so many requests, or something happens. Yeah, so. Did you just cut both wires? Shouldn't you just cut one wire for the temp fuse? That's a great question. I did cut both wires. I feel like last time I did the same thing. Unless I hooked the fuse up incorrectly. So I've got fuse. What did I do? I might have goofed. Because the AC, okay, so we've got a fuse going in, connected to Wago. 1 second here. Okay, fuse going in, connected to Wago. Then we've got a separate wire going in, connected to Wago. So 2 wires coming out. And what I've got, we might need to flip this over so I can get a better look. Want me to fix a 4-slot Wago holder? I'm sure there's a mod for it if I really wanted to print it out. see if I can see or show what I'm working on. Okay, so wires coming off of the bed. We have got a fuse. And what I assumed, or what I thought, was 2 wires coming off of that fuse, but maybe that's not the case. The Wago is the fuse. How big do you think you were that I've been wanting to do some big projects and I can't fund it? What do you think of a giant square stop printer of an industrial robot arm? Honestly, it's been so long. I mean, it took me probably 8 to 10 years, 8-ish years. It took me like 8 years to get to 20,000 subscribers. And so when I was originally doing that, it was probably a few years in, and the channel was probably at a couple thousand subscribers at that point. But this is, I mean, so far back that I'm trying to remember and I can't say definitively. So the diagram is not, yeah, the diagram looks like it is going past the fuse. You know what? I probably should have referenced, this is what I should be referencing. I do that. Okay, the diagram that came with this is what I should be referencing. So we have got, let's see if I can focus in here. Fuse. We've got 1 wire going to SSR. Why does that say meanwhile? Oh no, meanwhile, okay, so that's ground. Neutral. Hotbed temp. The hotbed will be fully potential between 2 temps, please check. This doesn't look right either. This looks like... Do you want chicken tenders and tots? Ooh, that sounds great. Or dino nuggies and steak fries. Do you want chicken tenders? Chicken tenders and tots, what do we want? Dino nuggies and steak fries. Those both sound incredible, hun. I don't know which one. I'm fine with either. I'm definitely a little bit puzzled as to the wiring. I want both. Only YouTubers doing big projects are the ones with big sponsors. Most of those big projects are collecting dust. Probably Extra Robots has done a ton of printed robots. Or nuggies with tots or tenders. It surprised me. They all sound good, hun. I might wait and change up the Wagos then. That way I can use Wagos for everything and also have Wagos for the thermistor. I showed a modified 4-slot Wago from Trident so you can print and use 4 Wagos, call it hot swap, bed fix. Yeah, I think that's what I'm likely gonna end up doing, Nappin, is just having everything through Wagos. That's how we did it on the, that's how we did it on the VZ and how I have it on the Mercury, and I really like that. Okay, let's at least move forward and start doing some of the other stuff for now. And I'll figure out the Wagos in the bed in a bit. Let's get our stepper drivers installed. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 7 drivers. Do you need a 2-slot? Yeah, I will take a 2-slot. I'd like to have everything connected to the bed in Wagos, including the thermistor, just in case I need to take it off or something. Okay, so we want thermistors on everything, not thermistors, we want drivers on everything except the far left is what it looks like. So let's do that. What we got? Actually, we also need to figure out for the jumpers. It looks like jumpers are mostly set correctly. Thank you, Nappin. So it looks like the jumpers were all set correctly from factory except for one. The second from the far right has 2 jumpers, and it looks like looks like it needs to be removed. And it's kind of stuck. I think if I... There we go. I've shot a couple of videos since my friend needed tech support, and that's a fun one since it's definition of engineering. Yeah, I mean, so when I started making YouTube videos, I've talked about this a bunch of times, but when I started making YouTube videos, there was never any plan. Like, there was no plan of having a brand or a channel or any of this stuff. It was strictly, I was like 17 or 18, and I had too much time on my hands, and I needed to do something productive and not destructive. And I got really into video game hacking and modding, that scene. Again, more the actual like electronics behind it than the actual hacking and modding of consoles. And a lot of the information was just not good or not there. It was either gatekeeped or behind like these deep forum threads. And so I learned by experimenting and breaking things, and decided to start making some videos on it because, like, oh, let's at least put this out there. If it helps somebody, that's cool. And then it just sort of went from there. I really enjoyed the process. I enjoyed the feedback and the community. I started to like get around people that were also really into that stuff, and it was fun. There was no money to be made, and not really any sponsor stuff at all at the time that I was aware of. I think that the first 3 or 4 years of running the channel, I was pretty deep in the hole from camera gear and all of the, again, video game consoles like Xboxes and reflow stations and solder and all these things I had to purchase I didn't have. And I didn't care because it was something I really, really enjoyed. And what if I tried it with my Go mount? Oh, you rock is in live chat. Thank you, Nappin. I'm gonna print it after the stream then today. And yeah, I really enjoyed it. And at the time, I mean, YouTube back then, from what I remember, was mostly like there was nobody doing YouTube. Like, it was cat videos still. It was like, I mean, you had like PewDiePie and like Smosh, and I mean, those were the big channels. It was mostly just like entertainment hangout place, I guess. I don't know. And that's also part of the reason why the channel probably took a lot longer to grow than it should have, was because I didn't have any plan and was just sort of going with it and made a video when I wanted to and disappeared for months on a time when, you know, something was going on in my own life. So it's different now. It's very different now. If I was starting YouTube today, I think that if I wanted it to be successful, I would spend a lot more time initially sort of figuring out logistics and what the goal is, and like, what does success mean to you, right? Like, is success building a small community? Is it, you know, is it for monetary reasons? Like, what's the reason you're doing it, right? Like, that's probably the most important thing to figure out. And that will decide a lot of the decisions you make around your channel. Put the heat sinks on the other way so they're lined up with the fan flow. You're killing me, Nappin. I always put them the same way, so that way the rectangle faces front to back. I'm gonna be stubborn and leave them, but I will do something about the ground screw for you. I'll either use some Loctite, or I will get an appropriate washer. I honestly kind of care too much for earlier videos, and I spent a month on audio alone before I got my first video out. Yeah, I mean, everyone does things differently, right? Like, I make a video every single week, and the only way that works, especially with me working full-time and doing like a full-time life burn and doing anything else, is I can't spend that long on a video. I only have so much time I can spend. And I've also gotten quite efficient at it. Like, I have a formula that works for me, but it took me over a decade to figure that out. And that doesn't even mean like what I do is the right way of doing it, because I can't say that it is. It just works for me. There's tons of people that be like, yeah, that doesn't work for me, or that's not what I want to do, and that's totally fine. But yeah, I mean, I think a lot of channels that are only putting out a video every few months, like, that's very tough that's very tough to grow initially. Sorry, Nappin. Alternate the heatsink directions. Gotta go. Enjoyed the stream tonight. Awesome. Well, I hope you have a great work trip, GPs. I forgot you said you were on a train this entire time. Can you at least remove the 7th driver that you don't need? Do I not need the 7th driver? Why does it ask for it? AB 1, 2, 3. Wait, why does this have me putting in? That's weird. Oh. This is weird. I just realized this. Hey, Pedro. So, see what it says right there? SIBOOR Voron 2.4 wiring. We are not building a 2.4. We're building a Trident. And that explains why. That's a little odd. So according to this, they have AB Z0 extruder. That's so bizarre. Okay, yeah, so there is an extra driver, you're right. It's just hard to get a content machine churning out videos. Your schedule is incredible to me. It is tough. It is very, very tough, and it's taken me a long time and a lot of commitment and understanding from my wife and family, because it takes up most all of the, you know, free time that I have. I'm always working on videos. I get done with Lightburn stuff, I work on videos. Aaron goes to sleep, I go work on videos. Like it's what I do. So yeah, you know, I totally understand. And I didn't start like that. So I'm not saying to commit to a video a week. If committing to a video a month is realistically what you can do, then commit to that. Like, don't overcommitting and having to back off, I think is a worse feeling than not overcommitting and getting consistent with whatever skills you're doing, and then deciding after a while, can I ramp up a bit more? Because it's just like that feeling, whenever I'm committed to something that's too much and then I have to back off, it's, you always have that like sort of sense of defeat, and you can kind of avoid that by not overdoing it from the beginning, because a lot of things sound great in theory, and then you actually get down to trying to do them and you're like, wow, this is way more work than I anticipated. For your FYI, I've just pushed the release button for a new release of Fluid. Nice! Version 1.26.2. Maybe we'll run, I don't know if this is pre-flashed or not, but if not, maybe we'll run Fluid on this Trident. Every 2 weeks, but step by step. Yeah, I would start with why you're doing everything wrong. What? See, I'm not always trolling. Definitely not always trolling. Okay, so yeah, we're gonna come back to the bed. I'm gonna figure out the Wago stitch. I'm going to do something different. I'm gonna go with the 4-wire Wagos, so that way I can run more. And I'm also going to run the thermistor through the Wago. Editing takes a very long time. I can only edit when I'm not in squirrel mode, which is usually late at night, and I just need to close the door and get in the zone. Because otherwise I'm like, oh, it's edited 20 seconds. Let's get distracted about everything else now. Okay, let's do this. So we are running an XY. We are running an XY end stop, and it's the PCB end stop. Which is somewhere in here, I think. Oh, they sent some bigger heat sinks as well. Where? Hopefully I can find the PCB that they sent. I know that it was here. Super confused as to where. Oh, what do you use for editing? I'm using DaVinci Resolve, but I feel like I'm missing features I need. DaVinci Resolve is super powerful. I'm 100% a Mac editor because Final Cut is very efficient. It does not have all of the things that are in DaVinci, but for the educational style videos that I make, they are not needed, and they are more of a distraction than anything else for me. They actually cause me to take longer by having the additional features because of the way it's laid out. But you just have to find something that works for you. Just kidding, you only did half wrong. Perfect. Okay, so here is the little PCB we're gonna be using for our X and our Y limit switches. And it looks like there is a, I don't know that I have this printed bracket. Prepare the switches for some, or do we, I don't know if I need the bracket because we're using the PCB. That's probably why. So I think, 1 second here. I think the piece I'm looking for is similar but slightly different because we're using a PCB. And I'm not seeing it. What in the world is going on? Here we go. I think the resolve is decent, but what about Adobe? I've never used Adobe Express. The ones I've gone through are, what are the ones I've gone through? I used Premiere for a while, and I used Premiere for a while, and I used Resolve for a while. Why does this not look right? It also depends on the type of video you're wanting to make. Like shorts need a pretty aggressive immediate catch. Not that long format doesn't too, but I feel like I've got a little bit longer, a little bit more time. What is going on with this? What am I doing? I'm either doing something wrong here, or this is not the right piece. The kit has its own XYZ limit lead, which is plug and play and does not need to be made manually. Okay. Oh my God. Thank you. Thank you, Ron. Optional. So I wonder if they sent me the wrong parts then, because what I have in front of me, let's see, looks similar to that. No, this might work. M3/8. Are you on Windows or Mac? I'm Mac. I've gone back and forth. I mean, right now we're streaming on a Windows PC, but I do all video editing on Mac. I specifically transitioned back to Mac for video editing because once I found my groove, I was like, this is it. This is it for me. But video editing and software in general, though, like, is very dependent on you and what you like and don't like. There's plenty of people that I'm sure would try out Final Cut and be like, yeah, no, this isn't for me. And that's fine. It works well for me. I can't type while the cat's okay. No worries. Short format is harder to edit. You have to make every second perfect. I haven't done a lot of short format, but the ones I have done, I've actually enjoyed a lot more than I thought that I would. Okay, this is bending. This is not right. What the hell? What is going on here? I can't tell if they sent me... The printed part that I have in front of me looks different than the printed parts I'm looking at on the screen. I am not gonna get a M3. My main PC is a MacBook M2 Pro. It's pretty spec'd out. What the heck is up? So this part is super bent. And this doesn't look right to me. Like, let me show this. So this switch is parallel to the bed. This switch is super bent, or like it's not laying flush. This doesn't look right. I wonder if they just did a bad job of manually soldering it. What do you have for your overhead camera? It's a ZV-1. Yeah, I think they just did a really bad job of soldering it. Bend it with my hands. It should be flush. Yeah, I figured as much. Okay, so that's what was throwing me off then. It's that... Is the PCB warped? PCB doesn't look warped. PCB looks fine. It looks like it's just the... It looks like it's just this. I could throw some flux on it and see if I can heat up the legs on it. See how this goes. Flux, yay. HDMI, the HDMI out. So it has micro HDMI. I'm running a small rig cage on it, which has a micro HDMI to full-size HDMI adapter. And then I'm running full-size HDMI out, yeah. And then HDMI runs straight into the Elgato Camlink 4K Pro. Long tip, and you can probably melt all pads at once. Oh, we'll see about that. It would be nice. I've got a hot air rework station, but I don't have like the tip on it is way too wide. I mostly use it honestly for cleaning up ABS, like white spots on ABS. But if I had an adapter, a narrow tip on it, it would be nice to just heat up everything at once. This makes me want to go with sensorless homing versus this, but we'll see what happens. I think it's gonna have a rough time heating up such large pads. Can't just bend the leads. So I would say yay normally, but the way this is, there's not, oh man, let me see if I can show you, can't even see it. There's not much distance between where the pads, oh man, you guys still can't see it. What's going on? There's not much gap between where the pads and solder is and the switch. And so I worry that if I bend it, it's gonna put all that strain on the pad itself. I mean, they're pretty beefy pads, but I'd like to kind of do a combination of both, like heat and slowly press down. Erin, oh, I missed Erin's message. What did she say? we're not gonna get wiring done, Luke. Erin's got work. I was thinking we were gonna get much further, but I didn't realize we were gonna have to do the skirts, which took a really long time. And then I'm going to change up some stuff with the AC bed wiring, so that way everything runs through Wagos. Yeah, it's gonna be, next week we are going to be finishing this build. I promise you. I'm gonna need you to open your door here in a couple minutes. I don't wanna wake him up. Oh, he's awake, okay. Do you want a Hall effect sensor board? I haven't used one, Shammy. If you wanna send it, I mean, I will install it afterwards when we do some other stuff to it. I also need to get, did you end up getting the Binky or whatever it's called for the Enraged Rabbit? If you have that on your website, I'll order after the stream. I'll order the Hall effect so that I've got it, and then I'll order a couple of the Binkies just to have on hand as well. It's not, I mean, it is big, don't get me wrong, it is big, but It's, I think, also camera angle. Okay, let's see if I can just start by... This is so awkward. All right. I'm just going to try to do this without worrying about camera angle for a second here. Let's see if I can slowly heat these up. Oh, okay. I'm almost tempted to like desolder. So I definitely got it bent. Are you going to do a modified stealth burner? It is the goal. The game plan is that we're going to reprint the stealth burner that's on the what a mess. 1 second. Yeah, I'm tempted to. Hi. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Which one do you want? Which one do you want? I know you want one more than the other. You want no.
I made them both.
Oh man.
Where's the camera?
All right, well, here, I'll do the overhead. Place it on the place it up here top. I didn't pick one, so she brought all the above: chicken tendies or animals, and then there's fries or tater tots. I think I'm gonna do chicken tendies and fries. Yeah.
All
right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
This looks incredible.
Your son is awake.
Yeah, I heard. No, not KFC. This is just.
Animals and tater tots.
This is just. Yeah, this is Aaron and freezer, right? All frozen.
Yeah.
Stuff that we had.
Yeah.
Not KFC.
You got that's the stub sauce, and then this is
The garlic.
No, it's the baby Ray's.
I'm happy with this.
Okay.
Thank you. I love you.
I'm
Okay.
so hungry. Oh, you want this door open? It's warm in here.
No, it'll be okay. Thank you. Can we borrow? I didn't know she was gonna be bringing all that. I'm not sure. So I'm probably going to completely desolder that switch on the very end, and going to clear the pad and then just resolder it in place, because it looks like crap now. It's flat, but I don't like it. I mean, it's flat-ish, but I don't like the way this looks anymore. So I'm probably just gonna desolder, clean it up, and resolder. So, I feel like there's so much stuff that I need to do to this in preparation for next week's stream. I'm going to probably cheat a little bit because normally I do the wiring off stream. I am going to do some of the wiring off stream so that way next week we can definitely get done with this. So yeah, sensorless is an option. Yeah, well, I mean, let me show a close up of how this looks now. It looks bad. So basically I went through each leg and loosened, or melted the solder a bit, so I was able to pivot it. But now it's like kind of a cold solder joint on that one, and the legs, instead of being in the middle of the pool of solder, they're sort of at the top of it. It'll probably work fine since it's just a limit switch, but it's just janky. So I think that I'll just heat them all up again, pull this off completely, and then just clean off the board. I'll either use wick, or I've got this little guy that I bought for the beacon when I had to convert it, and it works pretty awesome actually for removing solder from a pad manually. I mean, there's automatic guns that work a lot better, but for manual, this is pretty good. And it's cockeyed. Yeah, it's not great. I have a few hundred. I can send you one of those. I'll even do a purple one. Oh, that would be cool. But yeah, I'm gonna do, so originally I wasn't gonna do prep work, but I think I am gonna do some prep work for next stream, which will be getting, for napping, I'm going to use Loctite on the grounding screw. Although I stand by, I don't think it's necessary, because I don't feel like the vibrations are that much on the bed that it's going to loosen an M3x8 bolt and cause the ground to come loose, but I'm still gonna do it. And then I'm going to swap out the stock Wago setup with the custom holders. That way I can run everything through Wagos and not just part of the things. And I will probably connect a few other things as well. So star washer, yeah, if I have a star washer, I'll do that. Never let the solder sucker loaded. Never let it never leave it loaded. Or since the spring. Definitely check out the filament shrinks mod. Yeah, the issue, so, oh man, my face is completely covered. Let me stand here. The issue with the ERCF right now is that ERCF is like, you've got the V1 and you've got a bunch of mods for it. And I hopped in the Voron Discord a couple times, and I think it was Badger that helped out a ton with explaining things, but it's sort of all over the place right now. Documentation for the mods references different mods, and it's not very clear how it all needs to go together. I feel like the current state of the ERCF, like unofficial V2, is easiest for somebody that's built an ERCF, so they're familiar with all the different components of it and what needs to be sort of swapped out to build this Frankenstein V2. So I'm not against us going through it and attempting it if I print out a bunch of parts, but it's gonna be a mess. Like I looked at it quite a bit the other day, and I just think it's gonna be an absolute mess to do it. I would love to wait for the ERCF V2 official to come out that has some sort of documentation, but I have no idea like if that's months out or a year out, and so we'll see. But we will install the Stealth Burner filament cutting mod, at least in the switch wire, because I personally think that it's going to be much easier to cut filament like the bamboo does versus trying to tune the little bulbs at the end of the filament. I think that's a huge pain point of tool changers in general. So ERCF doesn't seem as refined as true Voron plans. Yeah. Oh, nice. You pre-ordered or you backed the Kickstarter. I'm curious to see what your thoughts are on it, Zombie. I hope it ends up being awesome. I hope it ends up being awesome. It has a filament cutter, it has a custom hot end made by Fadis, if I'm not mistaken, and it has 4 extruder motors, if I'm not mistaken as well, from what I saw. I'm curious to see how well it all works together. The biggest concern I have is that they didn't send out any units, which is fine, they don't have to, right? They're not like, companies don't always send out units to like reviewers, but I didn't see anything showing me it working very well. Like, it was a lot of marketing stuff, and then the couple of videos I did sort of see, I saw a lot of stringing and sort of like imperfect prints, and it might just be because it was really early, I don't know, but I have my reservations, but I hope that I'm wrong, because I think that something like that would be very cool, and a lot of people with Voron printers or just other DIY printers, or not even DIY printers, but like retail printers that want to upgrade, it could be a very cool solution. So I'll probably get 8 extruders. That sounds crazy. Yeah, I'm really curious about it though, Zombie. So I will be wanting to know your feedback once you've actually gotten it in. 100% the filament cutting seems like the biggest hassle of MMU and ERCF. Yeah, I mean, I think that filament cutting is definitely the more wasteful option, but multi-material 3D printing, especially single tool head, but even any of it really is sort of a bit wasteful. So I would rather it work and figure out other ways to optimize purging, like purging to infill and stuff like that, or purging a spare part that the color doesn't matter on, but it's functional and you can use it for something else. So yeah, I'm curious to see. I think they ship in April. Okay, so it's still 6 months out then. Double T's KMS. Yeah, Clipper Material Station. I had the Mosaic palette 2 or 3, and it was rough. It was very, very rough. Okay, I think I lied. I know I said we were gonna go for 4 hours. We're at 3 hours and 34 minutes. I'm hungry. I'm kind of tired, to be honest with you. I was up early today. So I think what I'm gonna do is call it here and prep the final. I'm gonna go through the rest of the Trident build guide and the electronics and prep as much as I possibly can. And I'm probably gonna do a fair bit of wiring off stream. We did some on stream, a little bit, but I'll likely do a fair bit more off stream and then cover what I did as much as possible and answer any questions that anyone has or show close-ups. So that way we can get it powered on. I think we're gonna run into issues with the Orange Pi and the board just because I haven't used an Orange Pi or the board. So I would at least like us to get to that step so that way we can be in the home stretch of it. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Let's just stream all day. So we did get a fair bit done today though. I mean, the skirts are on, which looks great. I got the final skirt pulled off, or it's done now. Let me pull it off of the, final skirt is done from the VZBot. It completed it very, very quickly. So I'll get this installed, probably put the wire channels in as well, and then prep the stuff for the final wiring stream. And next week, the goal will be to push plastic, even if that means we're doing a cube or something small, just that way it's printing. Orange Pie does some offline work to find it. Oh, do some offline. Okay, gotcha. So you're saying do some digging into the Pi image as well. I'm hoping that SIBOOR has a link with an image I can use, but I'll definitely take a look. Yeah, Mosaic moved on to like industrial printing. I saw they have some pretty crazy industrial printer stuff. So anyways, on that note, thank you everyone for hanging out. It was sort of a weird stream today, but I'm still happy with the progress we made. And again, next week, the game plan is we're printing. And so I will do some prep stuff off stream to make that where it's possible. As far as time of next week, I don't know what Erin's work schedule's like, and my parents are going to be in town. So I think she's off on Wednesday. Next Wednesday's stream might be early because I want to hang out with my parents. It's the last day they're going to be in town, and I want to hang out with them at night. So it might be an earlier stream next week as well, but I'll post it when I've got the information. So, alrighty, y'all. Thank you everyone again for hanging out, for liking, for the members, and I will see you guys hopefully next week, and we are going to be pushing some plastic on this Trident, I promise. All right, have a wonderful rest of your day, everyone, and I will talk to you guys later on. Take care. Bye.